What's up, guys? This is Brandon Christensen, the co-writer and director of Stillborn NZ, and you're listening to the Horror Squad podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Horror Squad podcast. I'm subbing in for Todd. It's Sam. We are on episode 205. I got Joe here. I got Steve here. How are you guys doing?
It's good. And we're reviewing Chucky tonight.
I was getting there.
Okay, sorry.
No, you already spoiled it. Just forget it. That's a wrap.
All right. See you next week.
Yes, like Joe said, we are reviewing the TV series Chucky, which I'm really excited about. I think Steve and Joe and Todd are excited about it too. So yeah, what's everyone up to?
Not much.
How's everyone's week?
It was good. I got to see my sister. We went to a couple of escape rooms together, and it was cool. It was just, we had one kind of scary one called Psycho. So that was a fun one. And then we did one based off Alice in Wonderland. So it was very trippy.
That's fun.
It was like making like you were a giant and you were in this tiny room and all the stuff was tiny and stuff like that. So
are you good at those, Steve?
Yeah, not bad. Like the first one we would have gotten out of, but the people who run the room fucked up. And on two different things, so we spent like 10 minutes on stuff that we couldn't do because they forgot to like set something up. So yeah, we were definitely going to beat that one. And Alice in Wonderland, we sucked. We just couldn't do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think it's because you weren't familiar with the clues?
No, it's just, I guess the puzzles were just escaping us. There's there's like this thing where there was a table with this yellow cloth on it in one room, and then eventually you got to another room and it was supposed to be a mimic of you being under the table in that other room, that same table, and it had holes and you had to like find clues through those holes, but the holes weren't on the original cloth. It was like this whole thing that just didn't make sense to me. So it is what it is. Yeah, but how about you? How was your big birthday?
Birthday was fantabulous. We went to a place called Kowloon. I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast or not, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like Joe makes me think it's world famous. Is it world famous?
No, it's not world famous. It's
Massachusetts famous?
It's Massachusetts famous, yes.
Okay. It's a Chinese restaurant and it is so good. It's humongous. They have like a bar, they have a huge dining area, they have an upstairs area, they have like this cool boat that you can kind of sit in. It's like a pirate ship or something. So yeah, we went there and it was like really jam-packed since the holidays and all of that fun stuff. But it was really good. We had some friends come out, and then we went to a bar in Beverly. It's like a dive bar. It's called the Pickled Onion. We had never been, and they do karaoke every Saturday night. And I've never felt so old in my life. Like I'm now on the other side of like oldness. Like it was super young, and it's so crazy to me because all of the karaoke songs they were singing are like songs that we grew up with and that we were like in high school and college and like dropping it like it's hot at the bars like during our hot sexy days. And I'm like, what is happening? And some of them were singing like Spice Girls, and I'm like, you guys just started college, like what the heck? But it was fun to watch.
They're singing the oldies. That's what they call
They
them.
are. It really is. Yeah. For them, it is. It was. We were definitely the oldest people in there by like 10 years. It was wild. But
now for an old classic, Britney Spears.
Exactly.
It's like, oh god damn.
Yeah.
But to go back to Kowloon for a second, I attribute it to like Disney World of Chinese food restaurants. It's like insane, but the reason it's like famous around here is because the owner is friends with The Rock. So like The Rock frequents there quite a lot. And he's taken all of like the WWF wrestlers there, or WWE now. So every time there's a wrestling event, like basically like every single wrestler goes to that restaurant and eats, and like a bunch of other celebrities. So like all over the walls, they have like all of these like autographed pictures and posters and stuff like that from all these celebrities, mainly The Rock though, because I think they have like every single movie The Rock's ever been in, and it's like autographed posters with him and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, the place is massive. You will never see another. It might be like the biggest Chinese food restaurant in like the country, at least. Like I wouldn't doubt it if you like Googled it, because it's pretty crazy. But yeah, it's a fun place, and I never like how crowded it was on Saturday when we went. It was just insanity, like how many people were there. But
I felt like I was at like a restaurant in Vegas or something. Like it was so packed.
It was, yeah. But it was fun. Sam got her. They sang happy birthday for Sam, brought her out a little cake, and it was great.
Yeah, I was so excited. That hasn't happened to me since I was like a kid, I feel like. So I was really excited about that.
Was it like a buffet, or like order at your, like order by numbers, or how did it work?
Like sit down service, I guess.
Okay, just regular, like.
Yeah, just regular. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I've ever been to a Chinese restaurant that wasn't either a buffet or one that's all you can eat, but you like order it through the waiter. Yeah. So.
We'll have to take you guys when you come and visit.
Definitely.
Cool. Can't wait to. Yeah, we also have a place where I grew up that was frequented by all the wrestlers all the time.
Oh, fun.
Because it was next to the hotel that they would stay at, so everyone went there, but that one was a shithole, so I can't. They weren't world famous, unfortunately, but if you went after a WWE show, there was always wrestlers there. I saw Rob Van Dam there, I saw Booker T there, I saw like,
wow.
Yeah, it was a good time. All right. And I have to ask Joe, so if you guys been following along the Discord, there's this ongoing adventure for Joe to get a laptop. We've been talking about it for a long time because he has a fucking super old laptop, and we keep telling him to get one, and then he said he got one and he was super excited about it. Turns out he didn't actually get one. And then he said he actually got one, and now it's mysteriously not coming. So Joe, can you give us an update on your laptop adventure?
Elaborate.
Well, yeah. So the laptop adventure continues. Thank you to the great folks at Best Buy. I bought a laptop, a TV on Cyber Monday, and they were like, pick it up next Thursday, which was this past Thursday. And then I got an email being like, it's not here yet, so we'll inform you when it will get here. So Sam can confirm that I did actually buy a laptop, but also they delivered our TV and it showed up broken. So then I was on the phone with them with that fiasco, and they were supposed to come on Friday, and I stayed up and waited for them, and they were like, oh, they're like, the woman like screwed up on your paperwork, so we're not coming today. And it was just been a nightmare. So all I can say is order from Amazon or other reputable places, not dying technology places like Best Buy.
I mean, it is also holiday shopping and holiday shipping and COVID.
It's true, but I mean, it was like a Cyber Monday deal, so you think they would have like 1 million of these laptops like on that, like at their disposal, and they wouldn't even ship it. Like I asked them to ship it, and they're like, no, pick up only, but they'll deliver my TV, but they won't deliver the laptop for whatever reason. So I'm thinking it's all a scam, that they didn't even have these laptops, and basically they're like, oh well, maybe they'll buy something else along with the laptop, which I did. So they really probably suckered me. So.
Mm-hmm. That could totally be a scam.
Yeah. Yeah, because then I got in the email, it said like, if your order isn't fulfilled by December 23rd, we're just going to cancel your order. So that's why I think it could potentially be just like a whole ruse. So I'll keep you updated.
Also, they're probably like, we need to make so much money in Q4, so let's act like we have all these laptops for sale, and then they it looks like they made all this money, and then they're gonna be like, oh, we made numbers by so and so, so don't close us down yet.
Exactly.
But then it's gonna bite them in the ass when they have to do the return.
So yeah, I have another one in the wings. So if this one does get canceled, I'm gonna pull the trigger on another one I have on Amazon. So there'll be something coming within the next few weeks, I hope.
We all do, Joe. We all do.
Hey, I've been like turning on my computer a half hour earlier.
That's good.
Just to make sure. I asked Sam yesterday. I was like, oh, I have to restart my computer because we were like trying to watch something on the laptop. And Sam, like, how long did it take?
A while.
It took like 45 minutes for the damn computer to turn. It's embarrassingly slow.
Your camera looks better tonight. I don't know why.
Does it?
It looks a little clearer. Maybe because you have more lights on. I don't know.
Maybe.
Or maybe because it's been warmed up, so it's not as blurry.
Possibly.
All right,
Thank
awesome. So since Todd isn't here, we're going to do the questions after What Watch this week, just as a 1 week exception, because I think there'd be more benefit to Todd being there for the questions than the What Watch segment. So I'll start because I have a ton of them. So if you've been following along, I've been doing a 2021 kind of, trying to get to 100 2021 horror films before the year-end show so that I can have the biggest basket to choose from for my top 10 and try to get the best top 10 as I can. And since this is pretty much the last week that I can talk about these, I'm going to review one like normally, and then I'm going to super quickly lightning round, give you thoughts on a bunch of others that I want to discuss at some point, but it's just, there's too many. So I'm just going to get all of them out at once. But I'll start by the regular review. So this is, like I said, a 2021 film. It is over on VOD. We got it as a screener, and it's called Autumn Road. So Autumn Road is a story about these twin boys, and one of them is in love with this girl, and the boys had their parents own this like haunted attraction, kind of roadside attraction type thing. And I think it's Halloween night, and they're doing the haunt and everything's going well. But then something happens to the girl that one of the twins is interested in, and they decide to dispose of her body without telling anyone. So everyone thinks she's missing, and then they leave it at that. And the story picks up years later, and the girl's sister comes back to the town looking for something, and it becomes an adventure of she falls like for one of the twins again, and they still own the haunt, and it becomes kind of a murder mystery unveiling as she starts to realize that there's more than meets the eye with these two twins. Movie is pretty decent. I wouldn't say it's great, but I was definitely not mad that I watched it. It's a nice kind of fall, Halloween type movie. I love haunt movies. I love it when they feature roadside attraction haunts like that. So that was really cool. It's a little bit slow at times, and there are some things I was like, okay, that's weird. But there are some genuine surprises. There's like one or two moments in the film that completely took me by surprise. I'm just like, oh, okay, they went there. So that was cool. And I always like to be surprised when I'm watching a film. So this is something I would keep an eye out. I don't know if I'd go chasing for it, but if ever you see it somewhere, either cheap on VOD or on a streaming service, this is one that I would say at least give it a watch, and that's Autumn Road.
Nice. So I had read, Steve, from someone that I follow, that they felt the movie was mismarketed, and they said it was more of a drama than a horror movie. Would you agree with that assessment? Or
yeah, there's definitely more drama elements to it because it becomes about a girl missing her sister, and then more of a murder mystery like unveiling, kind of like Searching, not style, but in the sense that you're kind of unraveling this mystery throughout the film. But there are a few horror elements to it that I think warrant giving it that horror title, but it's definitely not like a crazy horror film. It's really more so of just drama with some horror elements into it. Plus it takes place mostly around a haunt, so at least there's that as well. So there's elements from that. So, yeah, I'd say it's fair to put it in the horror genre, but not super horror. I
gotta say, I love the artwork for this movie too. The poster, it's really cool poster.
Yeah, it's super well shot too. Like really well done. It's not, it's an indie film, but it doesn't have that indie like feel. It's decent.
Cool. Alrighty. So Sam and I watched, based on Steve's recommendation, Classic Horror Story, which is available streaming over on Netflix. This one is a foreign horror film, but they speak like English half the time. So it's kind of like weird. Like it's like a mixture of like a English/foreign horror film, but I think it takes place over, I want to say in like Italy, is it maybe? I don't know. They speak Italian a lot, so I'm assuming it's an Italian based horror flick. But yeah, so basically it's about a group of people who take a rideshare service together in an RV. Apparently they do that over in other countries. I don't know. That's pretty cool. I wish I knew. Like I would totally do that too if I took like road trips, because I think that would be a kind of a cool way to do it. But yeah, so I think there's like 5 or 6 of them. So we have basically our main character who we know her best from the show, from Revenge, the lead actress from Revenge, a great horror movie if you've never seen that. But we have her, and then we have a young couple. We have a guy running solo who's a doctor. And then we have another dude who's like the main, who's kind of driving this whole ride share. And I think that's all of the characters. I don't think I'm missing any of them. But yeah, so they all go on this trip. And while they're on their trip, they end up getting in a car accident. And when they wake up, basically they are not on a road anymore. They are in the middle of like the woods, and they don't know how they got there. And yeah, like craziness ensues from there. It gets like very culty, but then we get some other twists and turns along the way. And I won't really spoil it or anything, because I'm sure a lot of people probably haven't seen this one yet, because I haven't seen a lot of buzz really around this one. So yeah, God, like I was absolutely loving this movie for the first half of it. I mean, it had everything I loved in it. It was set in the woods. We have cults. We have goats at one point. Yeah, it was just like really, really cool. And then the twist happens. And I was not along for the ride after that. I did not like the twist. And then the ending tries to convey like this message that was never there the entire movie, and it just kind of felt like weird and out of place, and I didn't dig it. So overall, like I think it's like still worth a watch. Like it's a decent one-time watch, but not something I'd really watch again. And like leaving it, I felt more disappointed, because I thought if they just stuck with like how it started the whole way through, yes, maybe a little more cliche. I do respect that they tried to do something different. And some people might like that, but it just wasn't for me.
Okay, so I get what Joe is saying, but I actually liked it. I thought it was like a different take. It did kind of take me out of it when they're like, oh, the whole mob thing. It should have just been like, there's a guy who is doing these videos just to get money, not like have anything to do with the mob. And it would have been creepy that way. And then it also would have been creepy of just it appearing like it was the cult that you see in like the middle of it. But I thought it was good. I thought I had some good kills, if I remember correctly. I don't know. It was kind of like how it was filmed. Maybe it was just the van thing. It made me think of like Texas Chainsaw just a little bit, but not a lot. So I don't know. I liked it. You watched it, right, Steve?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did.
Did you like it?
It's like Joe. I liked it a lot until the twist.
Yeah.
But I still kind of went along for the ride, but then the end just totally killed me. Like that took off at like a full point for me. And so yeah, it was like I'm happy I watched it. It's just I wish, like Joe had said, I wish they went the route of the first half rather than the twist that they ended up going with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I do. There are some really great kills and gore though in this movie though. So if you're a gore hound, it's worth it for a couple of the kills alone. for sure. And the lead actress is great. Like I love that.
I
girl.
love
She's
her. I
I'll
think
watch
that's
I'll watch anything with her. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. I was gonna say I'm wondering if that's why I'm leaning into liking it a little more. If it was someone else, I don't think I would have enjoyed it, but I do like watching her. So
Yeah, yeah. So glad you guys watched it. I mean, I had a feeling that the end, or at least a twist, might ruin it, but I thought it was at least worth a watch for this year. And
yeah, it's too bad. Like, man, it was like it easily would have been the first half of the movie would be in my top 10, like easily. Like I absolutely love the first half of this movie, but yeah, it was disappointing that it went the way it did for me anyway. And it seems based on all the Letterboxd reviews, most people I think tend to agree that they didn't like the way it went. So
yeah, shame. All right, so for this part, I'm going to go through a list of 2021 films. So they're all 2021 films that I watched in the last couple of weeks. So I'm just gonna really kind of bullet style give you a quick shot of what I thought of it. If you want a more detailed like review, like you want to know my deeper thoughts into it, you can just shoot me a message on any social media or in the Discord, and I'll gladly tell you more about what I felt about it. All right, so the first one is Come Play. I watched it on Crave. This one's about a boy who has an imaginary friend, very similar to Z. In this one, the creature is really cool. I like the story of the parents trying to figure out things with the boy, but I actually think we see the creature too much in this one. Z held back on showing us the creature, which gave it an air of mystery, whereas this one showed it too much. And by the end of it, I'm like, okay, I think I'm kind of over the monster, and it kind of ruined the film a little bit, but definitely worth a watch.
Sam and I watched that one too not too long ago. I think Sam liked it more than I did. Do you remember that one, Sam?
Which one was it?
Come Play with the kid who had the like imaginary friend. And then I remember the main scene I remember is like they're in a like a toll booth, a toll booth, a parking booth.
Yeah.
Yeah. That part was really cool. Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was all right.
Mm-hmm. Next one, Bingo Hell. I watched this one on Amazon Prime. This one is a small town. They're running a bingo hall, and all of a sudden this super rich guy comes over and buys the bingo hall from them and creates this like super mega bingo facility with all state-of-the-art shit. He's kind of like the devil in disguise, and the people who win at the bingo suddenly either go disappearing or shit happens, and the people who originally owned the bingo hall are trying to take their little town back from this new guy who's coming into the town. This one I thought had a lot of potential. I really liked kind of the first half as they're setting up the story of them losing their bingo hall and then trying to get it back. But it gets real weird in the last act, and maybe too weird for my taste. I don't like the way that they kind of decide to take the direction of the film in. And unfortunately, I think that kind of kills the movie overall. Maybe worth a one-time watch, but nothing I'd go out of my way to hunt out. Next one is Don't Let Her In. This one was on Tubi. This is a story of a girl who's looking for a roommate with her boyfriend, and they find this weird girl who's doing these kind of magic things in the house with them, and she starts seducing both of them, like both the guy and the girl, and starts playing them against each other. And you find out that she is something that's not quite human, and that's when the story kind of picks up a little bit. This is a very low budget film, but as far as low budget Tubi films go, this one is actually pretty interesting, and I'd say is kind of worth a watch. It's definitely a low budget thing, so you can't expect something too crazy, but it is still something that is pretty good. Next one is The Selling. This one is on Amazon Prime. This one was actually filmed in like 2012 or 2013, but released in 2021 because they had a hard time finding a distributor. And this one, it's two kind of bozos trying to sell a haunted house that they kind of got swindled into doing from another real estate agent. And they're trying to sell this house as the house doesn't want it to get sold. So the house fights back by doing all these like crazy haunting shit. And it's a really ridiculous kind of over the top comedy. Some of the jokes work and are pretty funny. Some of them are a little too slapsticks for my taste. So if you like slapstick horror comedy, then maybe this is for you. But if you like more kind of dark humor comedy, which is what I'm more into, maybe this is a pass. So that's The Selling. And then we got Teddy over on Shudder. This is a French film. It's about a male masseuse who gets bit by a wolf that's running around the town. And then he starts having some of the symptoms of becoming a werewolf slowly throughout the film. And he starts attacking people without wanting to. And it's kind of a fun little film. They have a lot of masseuse jokes. I'm sure you can imagine what kind of things happen as he's a masseuse and everything. So they do some cool stuff in that realm. The werewolf stuff is kind of very low key, so don't expect these big special effects or makeup. He only shows slight signs of being a werewolf throughout the film, but still, I think it's an enjoyable film. Not great, but worth a watch. Then we got Demonic. This is on Netflix. It's the new film from what's the guy who did District 9, Neil Blomkamp. So in this one, a girl's mom is in the hospital, and there's this company that wants to hire her daughter to go into her mind, kind of like The Cell, if you guys ever seen that one. Except in this one, it's kind of like a digital world, and it's all filmed in a computer generated world when she goes into this girl's mind. And as she goes in there, she starts seeing demons, and she tries to get her mother out of that situation. And then there's this whole Vatican army, military, that starts messing into it because she might be possessed in some way. And it's a pretty complicated story. I think Neil Blomkamp had so much potential when we first saw him with District 9, but lately it's just been going downhill, in my opinion, and this one is no exception. I didn't particularly like this one, but if you want to, that's over on Netflix. I got 3 more. I'll do it really quick. Untitled Horror Movie over on Amazon Prime. This is a host style movie where it's a bunch of people on kind of Zoom or Skype or whatever, and they're actors, and they want to create a low budget horror film while they're waiting for a contract on a TV show. And they procure this pendant or medallion that makes them haunted for real. And of course they start falling one by one. This one, not that great, honestly. It's funny, Marla, a Creature Feature, recommended it to me, so I kept waiting for it to get good, but it turns out she was recommending it to me kind of as a Steve likes terrible movies type thing. So I got on that one, but still I appreciate the recommendation. It's boosting up my 2021 numbers. So that's Untitled Horror Movie. I would say pass on that one. Then we got Baphomet from Tubi. This is about a cult that want to buy this old man's house and property for some religious reason. He doesn't want to. It's his family farm or family house or whatever. And they decide to put on spells on his family that causes all sorts of mayhem. So they hire a kind of good cult to kind of fight him. And it becomes this kind of battle between the good cult and the bad cult. This, for a really low budget film, was surprisingly decent. I enjoyed this one. I really didn't expect to. The only reason I picked it is because I saw that it was an hour and 8 minutes, and I didn't have a lot of time. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll just watch whatever this is. And I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, it's not great by any means, but it was a fun one-time watch. And finally, Sweet River, also on Tubi. This one is it's an Australian film. It's about a woman who goes to a town to retrieve her son's body that passed away in a river near there. And as she's looking for it, the townspeople are acting a little weird. It turns out that the ghosts of people who died in that river keep coming back every night. And the people in that town go to visit those ghosts at the edge of it's kind of like a cornfield or whatever. And she realizes that her son isn't in there, but to be able to get out of limbo, she has to burn down the cornfield. But the townsfolk, that's their only means of communicating with their dead kids or their dead relatives. So they don't want that. So it becomes kind of a battle of her wanting to burn this thing down and the townspeople not wanting to. It's surprisingly a pretty sad movie. It deals with loss a lot, and it deals with depression and it's kind of small town people versus an outsider. I was pleasantly surprised, and I would say this is one worth watching. So that's Sweet River over on Tubi.
Your masseuse movie reminded me of a story so we went out with my parents.
I was going to say that.
we went out with my parents the other day, and they told me a story about my brother. He's 23 3, he just went for a massage, and he thought he was just going for a normal massage. And I'm sure you can already imagine where this story's going. But and he's gay, by the way, so that makes this even better of a story.
He's never had a massage before.
Yeah, never gone for a massage before. He's like, guys, let me go get a nice massage. So he goes to this massage parlor, and he starts getting a massage from the woman, and all of a sudden she whispered something in his ear, but he didn't hear exactly what she said. So he's like, oh yeah, like just kind of like, whatever. So all of a sudden she took his pants down and she started massaging his ass cheeks and like the inside of his ass. And he said he felt awful because he hadn't even showered, so his ass was like, and he just worked out, so his ass was like all sweaty and gross. But so she started massaging, and then she flipped him over, and he wasn't wearing like any underwear or anything. So he said he felt so fucking awkward, and when he like flipped, he jumped up and grabbed a towel and like covered himself, and yeah, she didn't go any further after that because she knew, I guess, that he felt awkward. But I can't even imagine that being your first time going for a massage and that happens to you. I mean, if you're a straight male, maybe it could be a little exciting. But
for the Boston listeners, can we get that exact address and Yelp reviews for that site, just for research purposes?
Yeah. I believe it's called Happy Feet for
Happy
some people who might want to.
So did she charge him for the ass rub? Or
I don't know. I did not. Yeah, I'll have to ask
an extra
him when
20.
I see him. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's so. Piece of advice for everyone: if you walk into a massage parlor, it has a desk and kind of looks like a barber shop, like a nice boutique. You're probably safe. If it's in someone's basement and there's a sign like stuck to the window, like written in marker, good chance that you're gonna get turned over and diddled with. So, yeah.
Hey,
did he go to the same spot that Robert Kraft went to?
Maybe, yeah.
Hi.
Welcome,
Hey,
Todd. How was your
Hi.
recital?
Hello. Recital was fun. Band is not my thing, but I gotta support the child, so there I am.
Was it a Christmas recital?
It was a winter recital. Yeah.
Was there a Home Alone 2 moment where all the kids fall and cause mischief?
No, that'd be awesome though.
Did you watch anything this week, Todd?
Oh, Christmas tree. I did. I watched a little gem over on Tubi called Auntie Lee's Meat Pies, and I highly recommend this movie. It is fucking insane. It's got Karen Black. She basically is like this, I don't know, they call her Auntie. It's just a bunch of girls, right? So she's the auntie of it, and there's like 4 extremely hot women, skimpily like, breasts out, butts out, things like that. And they lure men and kill them and make them into pies. And it's insane. Like from 92, directed by a porn director. I don't know a lot of his work, but I know a lot of these actresses were porn stars at one point. And I highly recommend it. So Tubi, watch it. The less you know, the better, because it's fucking insane. So Auntie Lee's Meat Pies.
I'm definitely gonna watch that. Definitely. Sam, did we have anything else we watched? Well, we started on the Deep House, but we both fell asleep. But that wasn't because it was bad or anything, but it was because we were just so tired from Sam's birthday festivities. But it seemed really interesting so far, so definitely continue to watch that and report on it next week. And I didn't know, I thought it was a foreign film, but it's English, so there you have it.
Was it on streaming or VOD?
Yes, I believe it is streaming. Yeah, I don't think it's free anywhere right now.
Okay.
I'll get back to you on that though.
Cool. Anyone got anything else before we get into questions? Nope. All right. So you can ask us those questions on social media at the Horror Squad Podcast or on our Discord. Our Discord is amazing. I got to say it. And you should absolutely join if you're not part of it. In fact, we had a couple people in our Discord that are part of our Discord have a really rough week. Todd can attest to this, that there were really massive tornadoes in certain parts of the States, including Kentucky. But Todd, you could speak on it, but I know you kind of your area, I guess, didn't get hit.
Yeah, no, it was nothing towards us. We were on alert, but whatever. But yeah, South, or I think West Kentucky, like fucking bomb went off in that town. It's crazy. And like factories were destroyed, and Chicago got hit, and it was just Tennessee got hit. Yeah, fucking insane.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. The craziest thing I heard was that it was touched down for over 200 miles.
I've never heard of that before.
That's like, fucking insane. To put that into perspective, the state of Massachusetts is only 190 miles like long. So basically, we went through our entire state. Like, that's fucking insane. Like, when I heard that. So yeah, thoughts and prayers to everyone that was affected.
For sure.
In Kentucky and in the other parts of the country.
So on that night, our Discord were supporting each other and checking in on the people who were in that area, and it was really nice to see. In fact, our first audio question this week, Chuck, he has a question, but he also has a little message for you guys from the Discord who were there on that night. So Chuck, take it away.
What's up, Horror Squad? It is Chuck, aka Captain Amazing 85, with a few questions. But before I do, a quick shout out to everyone in the Discord. Thank y'all so much for checking on me, my family. We are okay. We had some minor damage, but we made it through and we're good. Again, thank y'all. On to some questions. Do you think the adage that gingers don't have souls started because of Chucky's constant need to play hide the soul?
I don't know where that came from. That's a good question, actually.
Yeah, that is. Where did that start? I don't know. And by the way, I have no problems with any gingers. So, shout out to all the redhead listeners. We love you.
I definitely remember that from when I was a kid, though. Like, people talking about
South
gingers.
Park did something.
Yeah, but in the 80s, people were
when I was a kid.
Right. When I was a kid. And I never really understood it because most of the ginger people I knew were awesome. So I don't know where it came from, but I always thought it was such an unfair thing to say. So it sucks that you guys went through that, but I don't think it would be Child's Play that started that. Might have put it out there more, didn't help the cause, but.
Here's a quick answer. Discrimination against red-haired and freckled people traces at least back to the Middle Ages in Europe and probably much further. Just people that are ignorant and racist, they, I guess, go after stuff. Yeah, strange.
People always find a fucking thing to be discriminatory about. It's really awful. It's
maybe people just didn't like Carrot Top.
Yeah, well.
I don't blame him.
Have you seen Carrot Top?
He's jacked.
Yeah, it looks like every time I see him, it looks like he just blew like a huge line or something.
Is he still big? Oh yeah, muscular.
He's massive.
Wow.
Really? He's jacked?
Yeah. Oh my god, like fake jacked. And that,
Dude, Google him. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's worth a look. Let me put it that way.
Interesting. I think he still has a residency out in Vegas or something like that.
Who would you say is the most famous gingerhead celebrity? I know in horror it would be Chucky, but outside of horror,
I don't know. I think Carrot Top's up there.
That can't be the best representation that they got. Right? I know there's actresses.
Amy Adams isn't she?
Yeah, Ed Sheeran, he's a popular.
Yeah, that's right. Ed Sheeran is probably the biggest one that I can.
Kid's got a voice of an angel.
I like Ed Sheeran. Sam does not like Ed Sheeran.
I like him too. He's got a really nice voice.
I agree.
And he's a mega geek, and I love that.
Adele, didn't she used to be redhead, or had she always been blonde? I can't remember.
I think she was a redhead. I think Adele's a redhead. Okay, I looked up most famous redheads. So we got Emma Stone. She is a beloved redhead.
Hottie.
Oh, here's a good Julianne Moore.
Hottie.
Great. Hottie. Isla Fisher.
Hottie.
They're all hotties. Christina Hendricks.
Hottie.
Jessica Chastain.
Oh, she got that jawline, dude.
Still a hottie. Bryce
Hottie,
Dallas
no,
Howard.
Yeah, I like the jawline. Yeah.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Hottie.
Lindsay Lohan.
Used to be a hottie.
Sophie Turner. Game of Thrones. Oh, here's a good one. Gillian Anderson.
Ooh, Scully.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Prince Harry.
Sam, Prince Harry hot or not?
It depends. He's getting better with age.
So not Prince Harry, Afghanistan Prince Harry now Prince Harry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Molly Ringwald.
Nah, never.
What? She's
she was a sweet, she's like an 80s legend though. And then finally, Allison Hannigan from American Pie fame. And finally, Rupert Grint.
Oh yeah, of course. The Weasleys. Yes. They're all the most famous gingers in the wizarding world.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in good company there, Chuck. So some awesome people.
There are. Oh, and of course Lucy from I Love Lucy.
Was she?
Yeah, Lucille Ball.
I watched. Oh yeah, I guess yeah. It's tough to say with women, especially actresses, because they're asked to change their hair color for different movies. So it's tough to know what their actual hair color is. You know. So that's interesting. Yeah. See, totally. They all have souls. They're all awesome. So you're in good company there.
Yes, and Jessica Rabbit for a fictional character.
One of the
great redhead.
Yeah. All right, Chuck. What's your next question?
I was teased my entire life by being called Chucky. What are the nicknames you were given and absolutely hate?
You know my nicknames. Why do you want to make me cry?
If you say it, I'm going to lose it again, Sam.
Toucan Sam.
Aw, so mean.
Buck Beaver, Pinocchio, like literally everything.
Buck Beaver?
Yeah, they used to like this.
Because you got buck teeth or something? You don't
don't even have buck teeth.
They were like jacked. I thought they were cute, but whatever.
Is Buck Beaver a cartoon character or something? Or is that just a...
No, just this kid. His name was Alec.
Fuck Alec, dude.
He would always like make fun of me so hard. Like we would walk home from the bus stop and he would find pieces of wood and like throw them at my feet and be like, gnaw on this. And I'm like, you are so mean. When he has
What's up with Alec now, though? Do you know?
He probably just liked you.
Himself?
I think he did like me.
Mm-hmm.
What's Alec done with himself?
I wish I remember his last name.
Let's make fun of him.
Baldwin?
No.
Yeah. That's it.
Speaking of which, me and Sam just watched like the special of him where he did like his first interview after his shooting thing. That was wild shit.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't like think he still should be like at fault. I don't know. That's a whole topic, really.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Do you think he should have checked the gun though?
Depends on whatever their safety protocols were, really, you know?
Yeah.
Usually, like, you would have them clear it for you, like, to verify. Like, in a courtroom, like, verify this weapon, and then they can start fucking around with it. So, who knows? We weren't there, obviously.
We weren't, no.
Yeah, but still, like, check your gun.
Yeah.
I was called Toddy. I'm still called Toddy, by the way. Yeah.
Toddy.
Hot Toddy.
Hot Toddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Toddy.
The girlies in school probably called you Hottie Toddy.
No, never happened, Sam. I was chubby in school.
How cute.
So was I. Yeah.
I thinned out in like 7th grade. Like elementary school, I was a little porker. But yeah.
How cute.
I thinned out after high school. But I was never really made fun of for being fat that often, like in high school or anything. So I wasn't really bullied. I guess I was lucky in that aspect.
You probably did the bullying.
No.
If you weren't bullied, you did the bullying.
That's not true. I got along with everybody. I got along with nerds. I got along with popular kids.
Yeah, but you're calling them nerds, Joe.
I did too. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, geeks coming out. Were you Pokemoning?
No, they were Magic. Magic was the big
Magic's
one.
the shit, dude.
Yeah, I never played
Magic.
it.
One thing I hate in this world is bullying. I can't stand it. So if you got problems with bullies, tell somebody because it's not cool to live with it. Like for any kids listening, I'm sure there are.
Right.
Bullying is not good. And then don't let people be bullied either.
That's right.
You get one, Joe? Is there a name that you don't particularly like, or
Big Dick Joe? They call him all the time, dude.
I didn't get
Big Dick Joe.
I didn't get made fun of much, but sometimes I get made fun of the way I walk. And Sam even says I walk weird. So
you a duck?
I've been called springs before. They're like, it looks like you have springs in your shoes when you walk. I'm
like he walks on the balls of his feet.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
he never puts his heels on the ground.
Like a pimp?
No, like the balls of his feet. Like he's literally on his toes 24/7. Like his heels stick up a few inches from the ground.
Maybe you got a leg problem, like your tendon didn't fuse properly. That happened to my knees.
It's possible.
Oh.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. So stop bullying me, Sam.
I'm not bullying. I'm just like,
bully me.
You're doing way too much work. Like you're doing too much, but that's
the thing is though, like I don't even like it just feels normal to me.
You have
like
great
I don't
calf muscles?
His calves are
actually my calves are huge.
They're pretty jacked. Like a UPS driver jacked.
They're huge.
Bigger.
Like, I do have big calves.
And then it's just the rest of the leg is just a little scrawny.
We'll have a calf off. I'll send you a picture of my calves. My calves are beefy.
I have like SpongeBob. You ever seen that SpongeBob show where he like shows off his calves and they're all like jacked up? I'll send a GIF in the chat.
Yeah, for me, I talked about the whole English thing, for English French thing last time, so I won't rehash that. But for some reason, I really hate Stevie. You know, like there are a lot of different ways, I guess, to say Steven, like Steve, Stefan. I've heard them all, like at this point. But Stevie, I don't know why it is. I just never liked it. So that would be one for me. All right, Chuck. What's your third question?
What toy was your friend till the end growing up?
Ooh.
I still have mine. It's over my shelf.
Do you?
It was a McDonald's Spider-Man figure, which
Cool.
is awesome. And I ended up buying like a complete in-bag version to have like just cause, and then my original one's on the shelf still. So little 3.5-inch Spider-Man.
Nice. I had a Grover like stuffed animal doll that was like my buddy. And I think my mom still has it somewhere. But he was wearing like his like helmet, you know, when he flies. He's got like that silver helmet for any of you Sesame Street watchers. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm trying to think. I feel like it was probably some kind of bear, like a Cabbage Patch Kid, or my Barbies.
Yeah, I loved a lot of my toys, but my ride or die when I was a young kid was this kind of doll of Mr. T from the A-Team. I absolutely fucking love that thing. I like an obsession with Mr. T when I was 3 and 4. Just absolutely obsessed with Mr. T. Probably because I loved his cereal so much. Like that was my absolute favorite cereal of all time. So because I doubt I was watching the A-Team when I was 3, but yeah, I just loved that Mr. T doll.
What's Mr. T doing these days?
He's doing those like fucking 1-800.
Oh, like you gotta buy insurance, fool.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Every time I go to the US, I see like, you know, Mr. T or that guy who says dynamite. Like I'm doing like one of those fucking commercials, and yeah. That
used to be Macho Man selling beef jerky. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Oh, Slim Jim.
Yeah, Slim Jim.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you have a box of the Mr. T cereal, Steve?
No, I don't. That's
No, you gotta get one.
Yeah, I should totally get. I know they were popularized by Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Pee Wee Herman, yeah.
Yeah, because that was his favorite cereal too in the show. But yeah, I missed that cereal, man. It was so fucking good. For those, I guess a lot of you probably never had it because it's an 80s thing. It's basically Captain Crunch, but in a T shape. That's really all it was. But fuck it was the best ever. That's something they got to bring back. They're bringing back all these fucking like High C and you know, Crystal Pepsi and all that shit. It's time to bring back the Mr. T cereal, I think. So
I think it could work.
Yeah, for sure. At least a low minute run, so I could get a box without paying $200 on eBay. You know. All right, and Chuck's last question.
Toucan Sam, what's the food pairing for this delightfully bloody series?
He's bullying.
I don't even know if he did that on purpose. So.
I'm gonna bring Bully Buster out of retirement just for you, buddy.
I'm not even answering that one.
I'll take it. These kids are obviously acting like they're 35 years old, so they're probably sipping iced coffees with a little egg McMuffin that they made homemade, gluten-free, of course.
Ooh.
Yeah, little pompous little assholes running around eating fucking gluten-free, sugar-free, goat milk flavored things.
Goat milk.
Oh. Goat milk, yep.
All right.
Awesome.
Don't mind me. I gotta go cry now.
You rock it, girl. You know what? Fuck Alec, for the record. Again, I hope he's a listener. Alex Smith.
Maybe he's dead.
Oh. Well, it's getting dark in here.
What are you guys talking? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Sam's
Alex
bully.
The guy who threw the wood at me.
I didn't know his name. His last name was Smith.
I made that up.
It's
I'm like,
obviously it's a
Sounds
made
like a
up
Smith.
name.
because you also talked about Alec Baldwin, so I was like confused for a second. All right. Our first question, outside of the auto questions, so thank you, Chuck, for that. Is it's technically a Chucky question, but it doesn't really spoil much, so I'm going to ask it now anyway. It's from Daryl. I have a theory that the teacher, Miss Fairchild, is Glenda. What do y'all think of this?
That's an interesting theory. I don't know where you would get that from, though. Like, I don't feel like it was like hinted at or teased. But then I went on IMDb trivia, and that was like apparently a really popular fan theory that's out there. I don't know. I didn't get it.
What was the theory?
That the teacher was Glenda.
Oh.
Because she's a redhead?
I don't remember the series enough after Bride. So
I mean,
that
she
makes
does look a
sense?
lot like, well, that wouldn't make sense.
Blind Glenda.
I mean,
She
it
looked
makes
too
sense
much
in
like
this world, but yeah. I
in
don't know.
this world.
They're like
Is
the
it just
doll people possessing dolls and then possessing people, and but
Is it just because she's a redhead though? Is that like the only reason that's like a theory? I
Maybe.
don't. Another famous redhead.
Sometimes she looked like Nika though.
All I was so confused a couple at the beginning.
Like they look
is
too
that
similar.
is that yeah? How many roles is she playing in this fucking thing?
I know, that's exactly what I thought.
Right, but I don't know about Glenda. Like personally, I haven't read the theory, so I'd have to go into it. But I don't see how she would be Glenda. But who knows? This series is so batshit crazy.
I like
maybe.
it. I mean, I like it. I like the theory for like this world. It would be, I guess, cool to like reintroduce like that character some way somehow. So might as well. So maybe.
Yeah, this will tie into one of my issues with the series later on. But I'm glad they didn't go that way. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
All right. So next series of questions is from Weezerface. If this show was a movie, where would it rank for you on a 2021 list and on the Child's Play list?
I mean, it wouldn't make my top 10
Yeah, no.
of the year. No.
Me either. What about the Chucky series?
I'll wait. I think we should wait and rank our them at the end after we review.
Yeah, I'm in the same way. It wouldn't be in my top 10 of the year. So I'll leave it at that for now. But we'll definitely talk about it once we give our ranking near the end.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Sam? Would it be a top 10 if it were a movie?
The show? Possibly. I would have to like look back, but I really liked it, so I think it possibly would be.
It's hard to say because it's very hard to go show versus TV, show versus like movie, because it's such a different beast. Shows go into a lot more character development and can be slower at times because they're doing things, taking their time. But movies, they have to do things quick and has to be done within 2 hours. So I don't know. It's a tough comparison, but hopefully that answers your question anyway. She also wants to know our favorite kill in the series, but I guess we could talk about that at the end of the show also when we're recapping, because there are some pretty memorable kills, so we'll definitely discuss those as well. All right, next one is from our buddy Mondo. What horror franchise would you want to see as an animated series?
Oh, that's tough because like I mean, is it like, do we want something like funny and sort of kid friendly, or like dark, or it doesn't matter? I guess
it doesn't matter. I mean, animated
doesn't
can
matter
be for anyone, right?
I suppose. All right, then I will say, I don't know, the Blair Witch Project.
The Exorcist.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
I'd go something. Yeah, I'd go something more, I guess, getting cartoony. I'd go with Freddy, just because his dreams could be so different from episode to episode.
Sure.
I think,
yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street would probably be the best adaptable, horror film into a animated series.
That would be cool. Kind of off topic here, but like I guess in the same vein, are you guys excited for the Texas Chainsaw game, or do you think it's going to be like almost like a replica of Friday the 13th, the video game, since it's like by the same people and everything?
I'm not, just because the main selling point is multiplayer, and Friday the 13th was cool, but it's the multiplayer factor. You got people that are assholes or exploit stuff, or like, for example, if you're a camp counselor, you can just fucking hide nonstop and not trying to do any of the objectives and just ruin it for everybody. So I'll probably try it out, especially if it's free on Game Pass. But other than that, I'm not going to go out and, take a day off work or anything to play it. Especially same thing with Evil Dead too. It's, all multiplayer based. I'd rather have, a short little fun story like Blair Witch, even though it wasn't like fantastic, at least it was still like entertaining.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be the same thing as Friday the 13th, essentially. So
yeah,
it's too bad. I hope they add some kind of single player element. They did to Friday the 13th, but it wasn't strong enough to really warrant like replaying. So hopefully they do that, but I don't think so. I think it'll just be, a lot of games tend to go to multiplayer now, because that's where the recurring money is. Like, you might not sell a lot of upfront copies, but if it goes on a streaming service at some point, they get the money off the fucking like clothing and the extra weapons or extra levels or whatever the shit may be. So that's really the model that a lot of these smaller developers tend to go to. So
yeah, my issue with it is like, the pandering to horror fans in like a way, because like just focus on making a good game, because it's like, oh, we're gonna have Kane Hodder play Leatherface, like okay, like who gives a fuck?
Don't
Just
care
make it be
at all.
make it be a good fucking game. Like who cares that like it was cool that Kane Hodder was playing Jason, of course, like because he's Jason, but like them trying to sell that Kane Hodder's playing Leatherface, it's like who gives a fuck?
Doesn't even matter. He's Jason. He doesn't talk, and it's
Right,
animated.
but it's
they motion cap,
that's
sure, but
yeah, I mean that's kind of cool because it's like the actual actor who played Jason is playing Jason like in the video game motion capture wise. But like, okay, maybe if you got like, and if Gunner was still alive and you got like Gunner to come back and do it or something, maybe that would have been like a cool selling point. But it's like okay, but,
yeah, I did like Tarman Jarvis doing his voice and likeness for the game. That was cool. But that's different because that's like his character.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see. It'd be interesting to see how it goes, I guess. But yeah, I think it's just going to be like a complete rehash of like the Friday the 13th game. So,
yep. All right. Next series of questions from the Frightmare Collective podcast, which is another fellow podcaster of that name, and he's actually running a cool contest over on Twitter and Instagram. So if you guys would like to join, just check him out, Frightmare Collective podcast, and you can join and win all sorts of cool shit.
I was gonna say that because his trivia competition is really fun. I've been playing.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So his first question is favorite Christmas horror film.
Ooh, we were just talking about this on the Discord actually the other day. Probably Black Christmas, but I mean, there's so many good ones, and I'm gonna champion for Better Watch Out because, like, I think it is so good and just so overlooked when people talk about like good Christmas horror movies.
I love Black Christmas, the remake.
Black Xmas.
Which remake? There's
the first
two
remake.
Right,
Okay.
yeah.
A good one.
Yeah, it's good.
I'll switch gears and go with Krampus. It's fun, and I just got the new version of it too, which I haven't watched yet, but I'm excited to watch.
New version.
the
What's
director's
that
cut.
mean? Oh,
Called the Naughty Edition, I believe.
More
Oh,
Todd
shit.
Packer.
I hope.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
I know.
I guess it's got like little snippets of gore and stuff in there that they had to cut.
The extended cut of Halloween Kills is coming out like this week too, apparently. So
Lame.
20 someone I read a funny comment. It was just so it's just like 20 extra minutes of people chanting evil dies tonight.
come on, guys.
But Todd, let us know. I'm very curious to see if it's worth to get the naughty cut. For me, it would be probably Gremlins is my favorite one, just because it's such a holiday classic. I do really like Krampus, and that's one I tend to watch every year. And I do like the original Black Christmas. I think it's a pretty decent film, and like not one of my favorites because the subject matter it deals with isn't like my favorite subgenre of horror. Like home invasion to me is not particularly a big fan of for me, but yeah, still a very good film. His next question: are any of you superstitious, and what kind of superstitions do you follow?
I'm a little it's like just all like stupid things. Like we've talked about this before, I think, but like I tend to avoid like walking under a ladder if I can help it, and like stuff like that. Just like, yeah, those like corny ones. But other than that, like my dad's really superstitious. Like my mom tells me like he has like coins, and he before he goes to bed, he has to like place them like in a certain way on his like counter on his nightstand and shit like that. It's like,
I feel like that's like OCD.
it is like definitely OCD, but it's also like a superstitious thing for him too.
What's the superstition?
That like if he doesn't place them in the right way, it'd be like bad luck.
Yeah, some people do some stuff sometimes. I remember there was a girl at my work that used to throw salt. If she knocked down the salt or the pepper, I forget what it was.
Oh yeah.
And it fucking like just bolting salt at everyone. Like, God damn. I can't think of anything that I probably have some like unconscious superstitions that I mean, I won't go under a ladder, but that's more of a safety thing than a superstitious thing for me personally. I will notice if a black cat like crosses me and just think about it. Like, I don't necessarily think it'll be bad luck, but it definitely like stops me in my tracks and makes me think, oh shit, a black cat just passed me. I don't know why that. I don't know why always black cats do. I never get crossed by like a gray cat or an orange cat. It's always a black cat for some reason.
Maybe you don't notice them. Maybe they kind of blend in.
Maybe. And I tend to see So again, not a superstition, but I tend to see 11:11 a lot. Like it seems that whatever I'm doing, like I'm working or whatever, and I won't look at the clock like all day, and then I'll look at the clock and it's 11:11. But I also think that might be a subconscious thing where I do look at the clock all day, but only notice it at 11:11, which is also very possible. So who knows?
True.
I used to have really bad, like terribly bad OCD. Like I can relate to Joe's dad, like placing stuff where you think like, oh, my mom will get hurt. Something silly like that. Like you think about it like, oh, someone's gonna get hurt, but then like it's like this nagging feeling in the back of your head. And I only broke it too, which was weird because I don't know. I broke it I was able to break it because my dad gave me this little radio and I listened to Laker games, like going to bed. So listening to the Laker games would like mean I didn't have to do my routine, which is like seriously like having to touch the light switch a certain way, or like in my mind I would like draw a picture with it, like with my finger. If I fucked it up, I had to repeat it 5 times. I fucked that up, I had to repeat it 5 times times 5. It was like, so people like have that shit. I'm like, oof, get some help because it sucks. So OCD sucks balls.
Yeah, for sure. I have like safety things. Like every single night I have to check the back door, make sure the garage is closed, make sure the front door is locked. Like I have things like that, but I don't know if that's much superstition rather than just.
You check the burners?
No, I don't tend to check the burners because I figure the house would have burned down if, because
I just check
like,
them for gas leaks.
Oh yeah, no, I don't have a gas one, so it's I figure that by the time I eat dinner at 6, if it's like midnight, something would have happened by now. Yeah, with the burn. But I'd also see them because I walk around in the dark. I tend not to really turn on the lights when I go around. So, all right. So his next question: favorite Child's Play / Chucky film. So we won't rank them, but maybe just your number one as a tease for later.
3. I'm a 3 man. I love 3.
It's close, but I think probably part 2.
I would say 1 or 3.
Maybe an unexpected choice, but Bride of Chucky. It's the first one I saw in theaters, and it still makes me laugh. And if I'm gonna rewatch one, it'll probably be that one because I think it's so fucking funny. And yeah, so that'd probably be my favorite. But 1, 2, 3 are all good. But we'll talk about our ranking a little bit later. And the last one he has: if you're wanting to stream something for horror, what's your first pick or go-to streaming service?
Probably Prime.
Prime's got some good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, like now I'm pretty much taken over by Letterboxd. If I want to watch a movie, I'll look to see where they're streaming at and go from there. But I probably split between Shudder and Tubi, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably say Netflix just because it's the easiest for me.
And for me, I mean, I don't really need to say it, do I? I watch so much fucking Tubi, it's like ridiculous. But it's like if I want to just watch something that I don't need necessarily to have my full attention for, I'll watch something on Tubi. But if I want to watch something where you're going to get like my full mind, like at night when I have nothing else going on, then I tend to watch something on the other services like Shudder, Prime, Netflix, or Crave, or whatever else service I have, because Tubi films, sometimes they'll hold my attention the whole time, but usually I pick stuff that's like, okay, I can kind of shut my brain off a little bit on this one. But I fucking love Tubi. And that's all the questions we have. So thank you very much for the questions. We really, really, really appreciate it. And now, a little coffee break with Deadly Grounds Coffee.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds Coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds Coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Trivia, let's do it. Get them out.
2 weeks left.
Let's do it. All right. 2 weeks left. I won, by the way, for that guy. Todd, 116. Steve, ooh, right in my butthole. 113. Joe, 110. He's a wild card. Sam, if you get any question right, it is worth 3 points at 77.
Oh.
Joe, if he gets one right, it's -1. Steve, if he gets one right, it's -2. Let's do it. Who would like to go first?
I'll go for. Oh.
Ooh.
All right.
Big Daddy Steve.
Fine.
All right.
These Kayla related.
It's what?
Are these all Kayla?
No, actually, the first one is actually from Weezerface.
Oh.
So thank you very much, Weezerface, for the question. I appreciate it. What is the full name of the
Ellison
cat
Ray.
of the cat from Pet Cemetery
Church.
is the nickname.
Winston Churchill.
That's correct. Todd,
Yeah.
Oh
point.
yeah. That's
Thanks, Joe.
got it. All right, I'll go next.
You got it?
So yeah. Thank you to Weezerface and Kayla. They both sent questions. I'm gonna use Weezerface's actually for my bonus. I have for a bonus one tonight. But I'm gonna hold off on Kayla's for next week because since we're doing Chucky, I decided to do all Child's Play franchise related trivia this week. So my first question is, what is the name of Chucky's amulet?
Dembala. The Amulet of Dembala.
It's close. It's
Dembler.
I'll see if you guys will allow that on Todd's. It's
it's
Oh,
close.
yeah, like to
it's
the
close.
judges, to the judges.
It's pretty close from my memory.
it's well, he got part of it.
Ambula.
I mean, no, it is Dembala, but it's the heart of Dembala.
That's fine.
So,
yeah,
To the judges.
Okay.
You don't have to give me the point. Judges.
I'm giving you the point. It's fine.
Wow. Thanks, Steve.
No, it's
Damn it, I gotta hook him up later. Fuck.
Dembala.
Give me the power back of you. I fucking love Brad Dorff. Sam, would you like to go? Do you want me to go?
You can go.
All right, all from Kayla. Thank you, Miss Kayla. Last minute questions here. Actually, not all from her, just the one. Friday the 13th. I just gave you the fucking answer. I was gonna do the tagline for Friday the 13th, but okay.
All right.
Do you want me to go?
No, I'll move on to the second one, which I thought was a little bit too hard, but I'll go anyway. In the movie Psycho, what was the name of the town Sam lived in?
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, it's a little hard.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
All right,
Greensville.
No, incorrect. It's Fairvale, which I had no idea either.
Oh, Sam, you were kind of close.
Yeah,
It's fine. Okay, my question comes from Katie. All right.
nice.
She sent this one last week. All right. What is Mrs. Mac's cat's name in 1974's Black Christmas? I'm looking for a cat's name.
Cat's name?
Snowball.
We got Snowball on
no
the
idea.
board.
Kitty.
We got Kitty on the board.
I don't remember. Damn it.
Come
Cat.
on, guys.
Cat. C-A-T.
Mrs. Mac's cat was named Claude.
Claude.
I would not have guessed that.
No.
Good.
Come here, Claude.
All right. So the other two questions I have tonight are from Kayla.
Kayla.
Thank you, Kayla. Which ones am I going to use? All right, let's do a tagline.
Yes.
It's your favorite.
Tagline.
If this one doesn't scare you, you're already dead.
Oh.
I think we had that in the past too. So
I feel like we have to.
Already
Yeah.
dead.
But-
Warm bodies?
No.
Come on, Steve. Why you do me like that?
Doesn't scare you, you're already dead. Oh.
I have no idea.
Final Destination 2.
No.
Fuck.
I'm not even gonna guess.
You guys give up?
Yeah.
It was Phantasm.
Darn.
I never seen it.
You're not missing anything.
I still think we need to do an episode one time of Phantasm.
All right. There's like
All right.
19 of them.
Yeah, well, just the first one.
Next question. What is the name of the toy factory the Good Guy dolls are made at?
Oh my god, dude. Should have that fucking cat one too. I don't know.
Mezco?
Hair and Co.
What?
I said Hair and Co.
I said Mezco. But
It's like on the
That's
fucking.
correct.
It's in number 2. It's like on.
Yeah,
the
it's in number. It's very
Gosh.
prominent in number 2. It's on Chucky's box too.
yeah.
Good Guy Factory.
The correct answer is Play Pals.
Fuck.
So stupid.
I need to rewatch that series.
Idiots. All right. In the series Chucky that we just watched,
Ooh.
I forget the name of the character. He's a young black gentleman. What
Yes.
movie is he watching to prepare for Chucky's arrival?
Cape Fear.
Cape
Yeah,
Cod.
Cape Fear.
Joe is on there. Close, Sam. Close. What's that guy's name?
Stan-
Randy?
Sam's never seen it. I was like, shit, we gotta watch that. Sam.
Yeah, I haven't.
It's a
De
good-
Niro.
See,
Yeah.
you could have asked that question and I wouldn't know what's his name.
we were watching it. Sam's like, "Is that Robert De Niro?" She's like, "Oh, he's looking all
Like,
jacked
what,
up." I
babe?
was like, yeah.
It was Devin, by the way.
Devin. Okay.
Devin.
Devin and Jake sitting
We
in a
loved
tree.
it. We loved Devin.
Do we?
Stop it. I do.
He likes the
Find out.
podcast.
hmm
You're up, Sam. Or am I up? No,
You
no.
just did.
I don't know
Right.
if I'm anymore.
All right. So this question comes from Kayla.
Kayla.
All right, let's see. God dang it. She even sent the one about the play pals. I'm so stupid. I'm stupid. Okay. What is the name of the bleach blonde girl tormenting Rochelle in The Craft?
God damn it with the names.
Amber.
We got Amber on the board.
Chrissy.
Felicia. I don't know.
We got
Hi,
Felicia,
Felicia
Yeah.
and Chrissy
and Amber,
and Amber.
which is probably wrong because you forgot it. So.
Her name was Laura.
Laura.
Mm,
Shout out
Laura.
to Laura's out there. Don't be bullying people.
Yeah.
All right. Last
If you
question.
can tell me who the actress is married to, I'll give a
Oh,
point.
Christ.
Ben
Okay.
Stiller.
God damn it, Joe.
She's married to Ben Stiller, really?
Yeah.
2 points for Joseph.
I knew that one.
2 points, only 1 point,
Well,
Todd.
2 points.
Well, I had a
total
point
to that.
earlier.
Oh.
Don't glare at me, girl.
Well, I was like, don't we get an extra point?
All right. Here's my last question.
All right.
What is the
Stop
name of
bullying
the
me, Sam.
What is the name of the entity communicating with the youngest Freeling child in Poltergeist?
Gosh damn.
The name?
Yeah.
It has a name?
It does.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
TV ghost.
I don't recall this. This name.
It's what they call it.
Oh,
Rather
the
than
TV people?
Poltergeist.
The TV ghost.
I said that.
Oh, you did?
Poltergeist. Ghost.
No, that'd be
I was-
awesome.
Toby Hooper.
The
No?
Statica.
Close. Static.
You guys give up?
Blurry
Yeah.
breast for all the
Yeah.
scam porn watchers.
It's the Beast.
The beast.
You're close, Todd.
Was I? What did I
How-
say?
how- was
Needed
it
to
close?
knock out the R out of breast.
Oh,
That's what I said. I just automatically say breast now. So it's
right.
which Auntie Lee's meat pies has some interesting nudity.
Ooh.
Over on Tubi.
Ooh. All right. Next one. Who is Tiffany's idol?
Oh, Jennifer Tilly.
Incorrect.
What?
Tiffany has an idol?
Marilyn Monroe.
Yes. It's you get yes, in part 4, Bride of Chucky, she says this woman is her idol.
Madonna?
Betty Boop.
Incorrect.
These
Incorrect.
are all great guesses, by the way.
They are great guesses. The correct answer though is Martha Stewart.
Oh my
no.
God, I should have known that.
We're
Yes.
all over the place tonight.
Some horror fan I am. Some Martha Stewart fan I am.
Usually your Martha Stewart trivia is like on point, Sam. I don't
It's true.
what's going on with you. How much for 1 point? How much time did Martha Stewart serve in prison?
2 years.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Probably I think
I
it was
don't
like
know
1 year or
either.
something trivial. Okay. This one's too easy, Kayla, but I'll say it anyway. These are obviously biased towards somebody else. What Italian horror director created the musical score for Dawn of the Dead?
Come on.
Fulci.
Incorrect, Steve.
Goblin.
Incorrect. Oh, you both suck. No, I'm just
Wait.
Wait.
kidding. Stam needs a guess.
Read it again.
What
I guess.
Italian director created the musical
Oh,
score
God.
for Dawn of the
I
Dead?
know it now. I know
Sam,
it
you
now.
can get a go, and then then these guys can fire off again.
What did Steve and Joe guess already?
I'm saying
Lucio
is fine.
Fulci,
No,
and then Joe said Goblin, which was like
that's
the musicians, not the.
Yeah.
You get a pass?
Jason Fulci.
Say it, somebody else.
Argento.
Argento.
Got it.
That's right.
Oh,
I mixed them up.
God damn it. So
Dario
stupid.
Argento.
All righty.
Dare I say overrated?
Very overrated.
Dare I say, no one cares what you think?
You're right.
Operas? I like opera.
JK. All right, here's my question. Please listen. In American Psycho, when taking his sheets to the cleaners, what does Patrick say the red stains are? We got red wine on the board.
No, that's right. No, wait, no.
Red ink.
It's cranberry juice. Cran apple.
Which one is it, Joe?
Cran apple.
You suck.
Is it Joe then?
Joe, you guessed like 3 times. That's your third answer, so you don't get a point.
No,
you
I
said
did.
you said wine, and then you said cranberry juice,
-3.
and then you said cran apple.
Give him a negative for the night.
Well, I was agreeing with
What'd you
Todd,
say,
and then
Todd?
you were like,
I said red wine. Does cranberry juice really stain like that?
I don't know.
Like a stainable thing? I know red wine and blood, obviously, but never knew
Should Joe get a
cranberry juice.
point? I mean, it was his third answer. I'm just saying.
To
What
the
do you think,
judges,
Steve?
Well,
Steve's
to
the only
be-
one that didn't answer, so he gets to be the ultimate judge.
I think Joe got it.
Thank
Good,
you.
Joe got it? All right.
Yeah.
Good point.
Because you guys
mean-
are going against Todd.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure he says cranberry juice, and then he says cran apple, like to be more specific.
Well, it's 2 different juices.
Very true.
Kinda.
Negative
You,
3.
Kind of.
you know what else super stains sheets that I found out the hard way?
Deadly
What?
Grounds coffee.
Yeah. Rose petals.
Rose
Aw,
petals.
how
about-
Well,
Oh.
because you're
Like the real
sweating all
ones?
over them.
Yeah, real ones. Well, yeah.
Oh.
If you
Your
ever
body
go to a hotel,
is
put rose
rose?
petals all over, just think about that because
Oh.
Make sure you brush them off before you get the nasty
Spoiler
going.
alert.
Well, Joe will never have that problem because he's so cheap. He uses the fake ones.
they're reusable. Straight.
Exactly. And then there was
He
like
wash
never
them
knows
off
where he
millions.
puts them. He never knows where he puts them. So then he just keeps buying more
Yeah, that's all
1,000
right.
petal fake flowers.
How often are we doing rose petals?
Every night.
Valentine's every night. yeah.
Oh, okay, every night.
Every night.
With that point, Joe surpasses Steve with second place. Just
Oh,
good job, Steve. getting
Oh,
the
way to
point.
go, Steve.
Yeah,
Bet,
fuck
you,
yourself.
bet you're regretting that now. All
Take
right.
it easy.
woo, woo.
There's no place. There's no prize for second. So
Nature boy in the house. Is that it for the night?
yeah, we gotta move on to the.
That was terrible.
Wait, I
Hey,
got a
I'm gonna
bonus.
do a bonus.
Ooh,
All right, I'll let
bonus.
Joe do his.
Okay, this one is from Weezerface.
Hmm.
She had Samantha in mind on this question, so no pressure, Sam.
No
But
shoulder.
what was the first film Josh Hartnett was hired for?
Halloween H2O.
Film.
How many issue on the board?
This is tough.
The faculty? I don't know.
The faculty is correct. Steve.
Oh.
Yes. Come on. I don't think that's true.
Now I'm tied for second, hopefully.
Tied
I
for
don't think that's
second.
true.
Yes.
You don't
Or
think
to the
that's
top.
true?
No.
Well, she
Believe it,
she said
sister.
Fine.
she said, "All right, well,
All right,
Oh.
here's my bonus.
All right.
all right."
You
Put it out,
ready?
bro.
Alrighty. So at the end of the last episode of the Chucky series, Chucky gives us a recap of how many kills there
21.
were. All right, Todd gets a point.
Yay! Because that's gonna be my bonus question too.
I thought that was going to be Joe's bonus question.
All right, let me throw out my bonus since we're all doing bonuses.
All right.
Boner.
Actually, we answered them all.
All right.
K-Fear, Dembala, 21. Those are my 3 bonuses I
Yeah,
had.
well,
written
we got to move on anyway. It's a long
Okay.
review.
Oh.
So the standings
Oh, yeah, you're
are
right. Sorry about that.
119 myself, Steve and Joe tied a second, 114 apiece, Sam 77. We have one more left.
Yeah, if it's still a blowout, one more. If not, maybe we'll sneak it into our final episode.
All right, let's do some Child's Play. Or is it called Chucky?
Chucky.
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 There you go.
So do
I
you want
want
to do
every.
a quick synopsis?
I want
or do you want
everyone's-
to do each episode?
I'll do a quick one and then you
Yeah.
can do your lead in.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Joe?
I said I just want to hear everyone's best Chucky laugh before we get started.
I can't.
Yeah.
Ooh, there you
Pretty
go.
good. That's pretty good.
That's
yeah,
actually
Joe
good.
does it good.
All right, Child's Play stars this little 8th grader named Jake, and he's a little different, man. He's a little awkward, he's a little quirky. He's an artist, right? He has feelings. Lives with his dad, who's a drunk, kind of, a little abusive emotionally, right? His mother passed away or left, I forget which one, but sad stuff. So he's kind of by himself because his dad's kind of a typical jock, and he's just a sensitive kid. He's really into retro / vintage things. He goes yard selling. He finds a doll. It happens to be a Chucky doll. He takes it back because he makes sculptures based on like doll heads and stuff. So you like throw some weird stuff together. Lo and behold, though, that doll is possessed by Charles Lee Ray. Because remember, at the end of Cult of Chucky, Charles Lee Ray is able to split his soul into multiple things, into Mika, into a bunch of different dolls, blah, blah, blah. And then we just follow around as Chucky has his new victim, Jake, who he's trying to manipulate and turn to the dark side, so to speak. Jake is bullied constantly by numerous kids. He's also gay, so he has to deal with that and people picking on him and, not being sure about his feelings and his dad, being let down, things like that. So we deal with a lot of bullying, we deal with a lot of coming of age stuff, and then Chucky thrown in for good measure.
All right. So moving to episode 1. So in this episode, Jake buys Chucky at a yard sale. So he finds him and buys him for $10. A pretty good price, if you ask me, for a Chucky doll. Then we go back to his house where he lives with his dad, and he has these weird doll sculptures everywhere, which his dad is not a big fan of. They even have a dinner where he's with his twin brother, which is played by Devon Sawa. So so Devon Sawa plays both his dad and his uncle, who are twin brothers in the show. They have a dinner, and he realizes how that his kid is just not the way that he imagined his kid wants to be, but he's also an alcoholic and probably reeling from the death of his wife, and Jake's reeling from the death of his mother. He gets bullied at school, like Todd said, and then he does this ventriloquist act at school using the Chucky doll. But in this case, Chucky is actually talking himself, which people don't know at the time. But he goes on and he insults the people in the school, including his main bully, Lexi, which is this girl that's also at school with him, who seems to have pleasure in torturing this poor kid, Jake. Later that night, his dad gets electrocuted by Chucky, so Jake goes to live with his uncle, and then the episode ends with a tease that Charles E. Ray is going to get some flashback scenes throughout this film. In this one, you see him as a little boy. So what do you guys think of the first episode?
Junior is a douchebag. I quote, scouts are taking gays now. Junior, shut your fucking dumb ass up. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. That's all I got for notes of episode 1.
Yeah, Lexi, get a fucking life, you little bitch.
They're a good couple because they're both pieces of shit. Am I right?
They're awful.
Fuck them. And I gotta say too, I'll just say this once though. The entire series, I did not take these kids seriously as being kids. I know they're young actors, but they acted completely out of character. I have a middle schooler myself. I'm like, what the fuck is this? To the point where I thought it was like in his mind, especially at like the talent show when she was up there, like, how do you feel about it, Mrs. Blah blah blah? I'm like, what is going on? Like, I thought it was just like very unreal and surreal that like they wrote the characters to be like this. So that was just my takeaway from the initial.
Like, you think they were too mature?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like I was watching high schoolers.
High school, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been more appropriate. I don't know why they didn't go there. It would have solved all those problems that I had with it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially them having sex and stuff, and like smoking weed and getting Ubers. I'm like, I don't know about this.
Not even in this day and age with like Ubers and stuff.
Fuck no.
Rich parents, they don't care, so they're like, meh, go get an Uber.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I liked this first episode. Like, I don't think there was like, it didn't like blow me away or anything like that, but it like kept me interested enough. I thought like the introduction to Chucky was cool, and yeah, like Todd said, like I feel like the characters make them high schoolers. It might have made a little more sense, but overall, like I liked Jake as our main character. I found him interesting. Having Devon Sawa play both brothers, I thought was like a bad choice. Like, I just think it wasn't necessary. I mean, I don't know, and then like for a first episode, I think you needed a more memorable kill, like rather than just like the electrocution kill. I just thought it was a little lackluster and you needed more of a wow factor for a first episode, but it kept me interested enough to want to chug along to the next episode.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I see why they did the kill that way, because they wanted to keep it where it didn't look like it would be Jake's fault right away. It had to be a kill that he would have done like himself by accident. So that's probably why they went that way. But but yeah, it was. I thought it was an okay introduction to the series, but not like one that necessarily grabbed me right away. Like, had it not been a doll that I'd known, you know, like being a Chucky doll as opposed to some other property with a doll, I don't know if I would have been like super into it. But because I knew it was Chucky and everything, I thought, okay, this could be cool. And I was surprised that they would have flashbacks to his childhood. Charles Lee Ray's childhood, which they teased at this episode more so than did anything with it. So I thought that was interesting and was kind of curious as to where that would go. So it was an okay episode, just nothing amazing. All right, so that brings us to episode 2. This is the Halloween episode. So this one starts off with Charles Lee Ray taking a bite out of an apple with a razor blade in it, which I don't know. We'll have to discuss what the hell that was about. And then back in the real world, Jake goes back to school after the death of his father. People are kind of looking at him weird and treating him kind of off. So I thought the kids were kind of being dicks about it, for someone who just lost his dad. This one, Chucky kills the cleaner, the person who cleans his uncle's house, by pushing her into the knives in the dishwasher. So that's a thing. Then the cops are trying to figure out if Jake is the one who did it because, his father just died and then the cleaner that he goes to just died. So they're starting to kind of piece things together and think, okay, this is the only common denominator between those two accidents. Then we see Halloween where Chucky goes around with a Hello Kitty mask and goes trick-or-treating, which I thought was super funny. This is where Chucky starts bonding with the little girl. She plays video games with him and starts just having a conversation and a relationship with the little girl. And this is also the episode where they mention Glenn and Glenda, which kind of took me by surprise, and we'll talk about that soon. And finally, the Halloween party with the infamous scene where Lexi dresses up as Jake's dad as an electrocuted person on the dance floor. So yeah, this was an episode. What do you guys think of this one?
This was a crazy episode. Like, I still have nightmares of Lexi dressed up as Jake's dad and her just going like this, shaking back and forth. Like, I hated that so much. I was like grossed out. I had the heebie-jeebies. I'm like, what is this girl doing? Like, literally none of her meanest friends were like, Lexi, that's a little too over the top. Like, what are you thinking? Like, she literally had to go look for a costume, like his jumpsuit, a mustache, sideburns, and a wig, and somehow she never had the thought cross her mind, maybe this going too far. Just saying.
Yeah, I have quotes here. Lexi is a cunt. That's all I got. She's a bitch, dude. She's a fucking bitch.
Yeah, she's a great villain, like, to start us off. Like, you want her to die. You're like rooting for Chucky to finally off her. I liked the maid kill. I thought that was like kind of a cool, inventive like kill, one I hadn't seen in a while. So I enjoyed.
They did it in Stitches, Joe. You just watched Stitches.
Oh,
that's how the clown dies.
It had been
Come on, Joe. And you said you hated it. You rolled your eyes when we watched it.
No, I didn't. No, not
You're
on
like,
that one.
You're like,
no,
really?
No, I liked that one.
Who puts the knives like that though? Honestly, that's just fucking accident right now.
I was just gonna say she was the worst.
Is it her first day?
Yeah, first time cleaning anything.
What kind of monster does that? Damn.
But no, I did like that kill. But and I liked Chucky dressing up as Hello Kitty and going trick or treating. That was great. Like, that was probably my favorite moment when he gives that woman the razor blade apple was really fun and cool. But man, this fucking party scene is outrageous. Like, it's so fucking far-fetched. First of all, in today's climate, like, no kid is gonna do that, right? Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe there's a kid evil enough, but I just feel like the other kids wouldn't be laughing. Like, kids today, I feel like, are pretty anti-bullying. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't have kids your age, Todd, so maybe you can, like,
I would say yes, but then Sam made a good point about them being really rich and spoiled, especially if she's like the mayor's daughter.
They don't care.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like at least one person would be like, that's like fucked up,
Well,
but
but would they really be like, everyone stop? They would just like not laugh and check on Jake later on.
I don't know. I mean, I just found it like super far-fetched, but I was like, okay, well, I mean, it makes you hate the character even more. But like, let's be fucking real here. When that fire like happens, like, you're trying to tell me like none of the kids would feel that fucking fire. Like, I go to like an amusement park and like they have like an
Backdraft
explosion,
ride?
and I could feel it like from a fucking mile away. And you're telling
that
me
wasn't the Halloween episode.
it wasn't?
That's
No.
when they do a dance party later, but that wasn't how.
Oh, all right, well, my bad. Never mind then.
Oh.
Then we're disregard until next episode. Then
Save it.
Save it.
Why do you think Charles Lee Ray just bit into an apple with a razor blade in it? It's just to show he's crazy, or
yeah,
He likes pain.
yeah, it's weird. It was weird.
Masochist.
It's just out of
Yeah.
place to me.
No, I mean, I think it shows that he's like a psychopath. Like it's like taking you on that ride. And I do like I like these flashback scenes. I'll say that. And once we get into some later flashback scenes,
I think I know where you're getting with that.
yeah.
I like this episode a lot. I thought Chucky trick-or-treating was hilarious. The Hello Kitty mask was just like perfect. So fun, so funny. I like that he was bonding with the little girl, just playing video games and chilling. Chucky's almost like a teen guy. Like that's how he acts, So I thought that was great. I was just a little weary that he was going to do something to her, which I didn't want, but he didn't in this episode at least. So that was good. But yeah, that fucking Halloween party was just. See, I actually, unlike you, Joe, I believe this thing would actually happen. These TikTok trends sometimes of people doing just bad shit to get likes. There's a trend in my area right now where they're calling in bomb threats and violence threats at schools as part of some TikTok trend. And the cops have to go on the news and be like, don't do this. This is fucking super dangerous. And you can get prosecuted for it.
It's like swatting too that people do.
Swatting. And actually there was one recently where people lie down on a busy street and then get up and then go back to the median. And it's another TikTok trend and people just do stupid shit. So this just basically dressing up as someone and making fun of him, I don't think is out of realm of possibility in today's social media age and she even says it, I think she does it next episode, but she's like, I got 400 likes. Like that somehow makes it okay because she got some kind of, social media attention for it. So yeah, I totally believe that scene personally, but I didn't know how they could redeem this character after this, and we'll talk about it as the series goes on. But
I think they did personally.
Yeah. Anyway,
Sorry.
No, yes, no, I totally agree. But we'll talk about that. Episode 3. So this is where Chucky starts to teach Jake how to stalk and kill because Jake now wants to kill Lexi for the prank that she did at Halloween, and Chucky is really kind of pushing to get that to happen. Lexi comes over and does a half-assed apology to Jake for what happened at the Halloween party, but it turns out she wasn't really apologizing. She just wanted the doll for her sister because the little girl wants the Chucky doll now because she fell in love with it when she was playing video games with it. In this one, you have Chucky kind of like hugging the family and everything and integrating himself into Lexi's family. And this is where we start having that headphone dance party that Joe was alluding to. In this one, Chucky kills the kid by stabbing him in the back at the party. That's like Lexi's side piece, I guess. That's I don't remember his name, but that's how I described him.
Sorry if I wasn't on mute. I was whittling if that came out across loud.
Okay, that's okay. You old man. And then so Lexi's house burns down after a fight with Chucky, and she like loses her joint, and it catches fire to the curtains in the room. An interesting thing in this episode, they bleep out part of Chucky's words when he's swearing at Lexi. I don't know if they did where you guys did, but it's the only time in the series where they bleep something out. And he says like fuck and shit and all sorts of shit. So I'm curious I do want to discuss that. And this is also the episode where Charles Lee Ray murders his mom in the closet as they're hiding from another murderer. So what do you guys think of this one?
You heard. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. I was just gonna say I really liked the headphone party. I thought that was fun.
We've actually attended one.
No, we haven't, Joe.
Right, at Bit Bar. Remember, like we wore those headphones.
We didn't wear it. They had it, but we didn't participate.
Okay, but we've seen it.
Oh my God. Yes, we've seen it.
Okay. Never mind.
Hey kid, I'm gonna go kill your sister. Want to come? That was a cool quote. And when Chucky's killing the kid, he's like doing these little tiny love taps. I was like, just get up. He's like, let's get up, you little fucking dweeb. But yeah, he was the worst actor in the show after that point. So bye.
Yeah, you heard my thoughts on the party. Other than that, yeah, I mean, it's an okay episode. I liked the showdown with Chucky and Lexi in the bedroom. I thought that was pretty good. Because like what he had his shoes, I think, like on the behind a curtain, right? And then like
Right,
he ends
that's
up,
right.
yeah, he ends up like tricking her. I enjoyed all that. And I did like the flashback of Chucky killing his mom. It like kind of continues on into the backstory of Chucky as a child, which we never got in any of the movies and stuff like that. So I thought that was interesting, and that there was, another serial killer that kind of took him under his wing there in that one little scene. So yeah, I enjoyed all that. And yeah, overall, yeah, decent episode.
And yeah, I agree. I thought this was a decent episode as well. I totally agree with you, Joe. There's no way in hell they didn't feel that fire. And that fire was like engulfing the entire house, which comes to something I'm going to talk about the next episode. How that house is still standing as good as it is like impossible from the fire that we saw in the show. But anyway,
living in it too, it just fucking stank after that fire.
Yeah, no, it's just
That's
like the
what I
walls are
said.
discolored. That's
Yeah.
basically what came out of it. But the way the fire was, it was like roaring. That would have destroyed the house within 5 minutes, But anyway, TV, how it is. Yeah. So I also like the Charles Lee Ray thing. I did not see that one coming. Like when he went into the closet with his mom, I didn't think she'd like already be dead in there. And he's like, "Hey, look, I killed my mom for you." And he's like, "Oh, you got guts, kid." So it was an interesting choice, and I really like. That was probably my favorite flashback that they did in the whole series, was that one scene. But
It would have been cool if they like he took him and like showed him the ropes.
Yeah, that's what I thought they were going with. He just leaves. That was
Just takes
kinda,
off.
right. I guess he was more of a influence than a mentor. But I do want to know, why did they bleep out Chucky's word? What did he say? I thought maybe he said cunt, and they
Probably
thought
there's a couple
that
words
was
they
too
can't
much.
say.
I'm guessing.
That's the only thing I can think of. But with the way he was swearing in the rest of the series, it was an odd choice. Like it made me think of it more than had he just said it.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I thought it was weird, but I guess if like he was saying cunt, which I mean, I guess that's a little too extreme for network television. Or is this network television? Cable television, I guess. But yeah, it was a little jarring when it did happen. But I was like, it didn't bother me that much.
I'm just glad they didn't keep doing it. Like I was afraid that this, because this is still early. This episode 3, I thought, oh no, is this going to be a thing in the series? We're going to start bleeping out like fucking words. It's terrible, So I'm glad they didn't do that. All right, episode 4. So this is Lexi knows about Chucky and tells Jake that he knows he sent Chucky to kill her. So this is all taking place in the hospital from the minor burns that everyone got in that roaring fire. So then this is where Jake and Lexi start to work with each other, because they realize that even though they hate each other, they're the only two who know that Chucky is in the doll, and no one else will believe them. So they're kind of forced to work together to make sure the other people that they love don't get killed. This is also the episode where Charles Lee Ray is kind of a teenager in a boys' home, and he's like killing the janitor and mentoring another boy to also be crazy like he is. Then we see the half-burned Chucky is taken by police. So Chucky's the only one who apparently suffered burns in this whole fucking thing somehow. And then you see the cop like take the snacks in the girl's room. I thought that was such a fucking dick move. I don't know why that really marked me.
I wrote that down.
Seriously?
Snack attack in the ICU.
Yeah. But don't worry, Chucky kills him with the needles that from the disposal kit. And finally, they find the body as the little girl flatlines. So yeah, what do you guys think of the hospital episode?
I thought Chucky looked pretty cool in his burn look.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was awesome.
I loved that. Yeah, I got so excited seeing that.
Yeah, I love that look, and it made him scarier than like is one of the more scarier iterations of Chucky we've seen in a while. So I really appreciated that. This episode takes place in a lot of it takes place in the hospital, so it's like we're in Halloween Kills all over again, kind of, for this episode. But yeah, I mean, this one's okay, and I love the ending. Like, I love that kill with all the needles and shit, and then the ending to this is perfect when just Chucky gives the middle finger to all the kids. It just made me laugh. And this is like the beginning of the arc for Lexi as well, where, she's still kind of a brat, but she's starting to, I guess, kind of show some of her better side. So yeah, I found that to be kind of interesting. And then this was like the episode where I'm like, okay, they're definitely not going to kill this girl. Because before this, I was like, oh, she's dead. Like, within those first few episodes, 100% like gonna die. But then I was like, oh, okay, she's probably gonna stick around. They're starting to give her this arc. So yeah, like overall, yeah, another like decent episode.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was a decent episode as well. Love that kill. The Charles C. Ray stuff in this episode I thought was a little odd. Him like showing other kids how to kill. And
well, is this the episode where they introduce they give you the little Eddie Caputo? Is that the kid befriends?
That's right.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Which I thought that was kind of like cool for like the more like hardcore Chucky fans. It never really goes anywhere. It's kind of just like a little thrown in fan service, but yeah, for those who aren't as well versed in the Chucky universe, like Eddie Caputo was Chucky's partner, who he ends up going back and killing in part 1. Once he takes over the doll form, I believe he blows his car up or something like that, from what I remember. But yeah,
10-minute obscure reference. So
yeah.
But you do get to see kind of Charles Lee Ray's evolution from a kid to a teen, going from, I guess, home to home, assuming what happened to him while he was a kid, honing his skills as a killer. But yeah, other than that, not like there's a lot of more personal moments in this, as Jake and Lexi try to like understand each other and work with each other. And you're right, this is where Lexi kind of starts taking a turn into, at first I think it's more about self-preservation, but eventually like grows fond of the people that she works with. So it was interesting to see them go that route, which I didn't necessarily see coming. I thought she'd be kind of the villain, outside of Chucky, of course, the villain for a good portion of the series. All right, episode 5. So this is where Devin joins the squad looking for Chucky, as he saw Chucky giving the middle finger at the end of the last episode. This is also the first episode where Fiona Dourif plays Charles Lee Ray in a flashback. Then you see Devin and Jake holding hands, so that confirms that they're at least interested in each other. The little girl gets Tommy, which is another good guy doll. I wrote that Lexi's house is in surprisingly amazing shape for that fire. The kid destroys the original Chucky doll, and Devin and Jake kiss in the moment after they kill the doll. This is also the first appearance of Tiffany in a flashback. We find out that Tiffany and Nika are kind of a couple, but it's also kind of also Chucky, but she's kind of in a couple with both, and it's a weird thing we'll have to talk about. You see Chucky possessing Nika in the hotel, and then you see Chucky sever the principal's head, puts her on display at the school town hall, and then Chucky switches body with Tommy. So yeah, this was a whole lot of episode 2, and we had the two things I really want to talk about this episode is the relationship between Tiffany and Nika / Chucky, but also seeing Fiona Dourif play Charles Lee Ray going forward from this point.
Yeah, this is like, there's a lot going on in this episode. I'll say right off the bat, this was probably my least favorite episode of the entire series. Just because like up until this point, it was just like had a smooth flow to it. But introducing Tiffany and Nika into this episode, it felt kind of like just kind of shoehorned in, and it was taking away from like the other characters. But I mean, I knew it was coming because like I knew that they were going to do a continuation of Cult of Chucky, so I was waiting for it. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't love this introduction to them. And Fiona Dourif as Charles Lee Ray was great, I thought, but putting the voiceover of Brad Dourif's voice and Tiffany's voice like in the actors was so fucking distracting and awful. Like it was a terrible choice. They should have just used the regular actors' voices. Like, do we really need like those actors' voices voiced over? And it just looked so fucking weird and so awkward. I didn't like it.
I concur. I think Fiona Dourif is a fucking hottie, and she's got a nice little booty. So I'll put that out there. But yeah, the voiceover, like she played her dad well, but it just didn't really work in my opinion. Like it just, the look of him was a little off, and then with the voice and Jennifer Tilly's voice, it was just like you said, Joe, distracting. Like it took you out of it.
I agree. So like all the episodes leading up to this, I really liked it. I really liked the younger characters. And then when we got here, I was like, ugh. I was like, oh, here we go. I honestly think that they could have, well, I don't know. Like, I just feel like with Jennifer Tilly, I think they could have done something to make her look like from the time period that they were flashing back to, because she still looks amazing. Like, she looks younger than she did in Bride of Chucky, I think. Like, I think they could have, I don't know. I think they could have gotten away with it. But the other girl was like just distracting. And then, especially with how similar Fiona looks to Brad, that you buy it. But then the other gal just was not a replica of Tiffany, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
but
you know, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. But the voiceovers did kind of mess with my head, and I just tried to like look away or not even look at their faces when they talked, honestly. But I don't know really. I still don't know how I feel with Fiona playing. I'm so like it's confusing to my mind. Like she's playing Nika, but then she also looks the same playing Chucky. Like
She's got like a 5 o'clock shadow on basically, and
but it's like the same look. Like they
Yeah.
should have changed her hair to where it was long for Nika or something. Like it was just the same A-line haircut. Like, well, okay, so I guess she was supposed to look, but it was too confusing of the flashbacks. That's where I'm getting mixed up. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like it was just kind of confusing. Never mind. I don't know how to say what I'm thinking.
No,
their
you're
look
good.
wasn't their
I
look
get
was
it.
their look was too similar for you to be
Yeah,
like
it was
completely
confusing. Yeah, I was
taken out
like,
of it.
how am I supposed to believe this?
Yeah.
But I get it. I mean, she did a great job playing him. I will say that.
Yeah, it was like a great homage, but perhaps they should have used like just a completely different person, like an actor to play Brad, where it wouldn't have been so
Yeah, it would have been fine.
distracting. Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping they would bring back the detective, I forget his name, in some kind
Mike
of cameo
Norris.
too. Yeah, like they could have had the whole scene again, like leading up to it, where after she, well, that's a little bit later in the episodes, but when she rats him out. Also, too, the Jennifer Tilly, the Tiffany character, like, it's like a weird thing to complain about, but like her character also didn't fit with what we know as Tiffany, because like there was no cleavage, and that was like, I know that it kind of sounds weird, but that was like a big thing for her character. And they even like play upon that in Bride of Chucky, and then even in this one, like, so as Chucky gets her, he looks down, and is like, oh, Tiff. So it's just like strange character choices, especially like what Sam said, how they look. I mean, obviously it's his daughter in real life, but they look way too close to be like. Because when I was like, Fiona Dorff was hot, and then when she's acting like a dude, I'm like, well, I don't know about this.
Okay, wait, but now I'm confused because go fast forwarding real quick when Tiffany, like I completely missed that Jennifer Tilly plays herself. Like at the very last episode, which I'm skipping forward real quick, I was like, why are they introducing Jennifer Tilly? And then I was talking to Joe about that, and he was like, no, like that's in the movie, like it was Jennifer Tilly. And I'm like, oh my God, like I never fucking knew that, or maybe I just forgot about it. But I feel like, so when they went to the flashbacks, like was that supposed to be Jennifer Tilly, or was that a different girl before she hopped into Jennifer Tilly?
No, that is Tiffany in the flashbacks the whole time. The only time we really
scratch my idea of them dressing Jennifer Tilly up as a younger character to go to the flashbacks, because not even the same person.
I'm confused too then. Briefly tell me the history then. Like, why is it Jennifer Tilly? What's the difference?
She looked like Jennifer Tilly, and made her look like more like Jennifer Tilly, if I remember right. That was like,
so
what?
Jennifer. Okay, so
she was a blonde babe.
There's two.
No. Go back to Bride of Chucky.
This goes back to Seed of Chucky. So in Seed of Chucky, Tiffany.
But Bride is before Seed, so
right.
She's Tiffany.
You just have Tiffany, but then in Seed, they meet Jennifer Tilly. Tiffany meets Jennifer Tilly, and they kill Jennifer Tilly, and Tiffany goes into Jennifer Tilly's body.
That's right.
So it's Jennifer Tilly that's in the tub when they kill her.
Yeah.
Yes, that's Tiffany. Tiffany is completely Tiffany in Bride of Chucky.
Yeah, Tiffany looks like Jennifer Tilly. And
See, I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
I don't even know what you're saying. I'm
Tiffany,
gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go.
That's why Seed of Chucky is trash.
So but for the cinematic universe of Chucky,
Yes.
Tiffany puts her
Tiffany.
body into Jennifer
Tilly, the
Tilly,
actress.
and then therefore
Yes.
Jennifer Tilly plays herself, but she really is
Yes.
Tiffany.
Yes.
What the fuck? All right, I completely wrote that one off in my mind. Then that's news to me.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not the only
Wait.
one.
So the girl that I was complaining about without cleavage wasn't Jennifer Tilly.
Yeah, that's
No,
what I
no,
was
No,
saying.
but
that is Tiffany.
but in Bride of
But not
Chucky,
Jennifer Tilly.
yeah, but in Bride of Chucky, Tiffany looks like Jennifer Tilly.
Okay, so
That-
am I
that's
right?
the whole-
Am I right or wrong? The girl in the past should have had cleavage.
Yes, because
Yes, because
she
that's
looks
Tiffany.
she looks a lot
Okay.
like Jennifer Tilly.
But where's my cleavage? I'm a simple guy. All right.
That's right. That's all you want.
She's supposed to be young Tiffany,
That's
not
right.
Jennifer Tilly.
Right.
Okay. So then, yeah, my idea of Jennifer Tilly being young of the 30 years ago would not have worked.
No, it
'cause
would have
it's not-
worked
I'm gonna
according
let
to
it.
them. Well,
I'm
we'll just let
gonna
it go.
let it
Me and Sam
go.
are stupid apparently, and we don't understand the ins and outs of Chucky universe.
I mean,
No,
it's basically what happened. Tiffany is Tiffany, right? In Bride of Chucky, Tiffany the whole way. When we've seen these flashbacks, that is Tiffany. And then what ends up happening in Seed of Chucky, which happens after these flashbacks and happens after Bride of Chucky, Tiffany kills Jennifer Tilly to go into the actress Jennifer Tilly's body. So when we flash forward to that last episode and they introduce Jennifer Tilly, that is the character Tiffany inside of Jennifer Tilly's body.
Right, because the
So
only way that they could figure out a way to get Tiffany back into Jennifer Tilly's body was to get Jennifer Tilly in that
Right.
universe. So because she already looked like her, that was,
Gotcha.
she kind of had her features, obviously being.
So
the
they
same person.
succeeded with the whole soul swapping with Jennifer's character.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
essentially.
All right.
I mean,
That's
just
complicated for a Chucky movie.
it is, but just like basically when you see Jennifer Tilly, that is Tiffany. Like, that is the Tiffany character. Like,
That's
again,
Tiffany wearing Jennifer Tilly's
because
suit.
because you got to remember Tiffany died in Bride of Chucky, but so when you in
But
Seed
went
of
into the
Chucky,
doll.
and when it's Seed of Chucky, that is the Jennifer Tilly, the actress, not the character.
Let's
of
move along.
Tiffany.
We got like 10 minutes to cover the rest of this fucking
I
show.
know.
Yeah. So just my quick thoughts. I'd liked Fiona Dourif playing Charles Lee Ray for like 3 minutes because I thought it looked cool. But as soon as she started like moving and having that awful voiceover, great voiceover, but also awful to that character, it's where it got really distracting to the point where I wasn't buying Charles Lee Ray anymore. At the bar and everything, when she's just standing there, I'm like, okay, that's cool. But anything after that, it just didn't feel like Charles Lee Ray. It just feels like Fiona Dourif playing.
It looked like a
Charles.
woman trying to impersonate a man. That's
It was like cosplay, essentially,
Yeah.
is what it reminded me of. It was like Uncanny Valley. It's like it looks like him a little bit, but not enough to like really make me believe it. So that's all I'm going to say about that, and we'll move on to episode 6. So this, as if we didn't have enough new characters to bring in this late, is where we first see Kyle and Andy as U.S. Census. I thought of Joe and they were
I did
U.S.
too,
Census people.
immediately.
Yeah. But actually Chucky hunters. Then the cops arrest the teacher, which I'm still confused about as to why they did. Maybe we can discuss
And
that.
then she got out easy as peasy
Right.
peasy too. I was like, what?
Yeah. We also find out that blood makes Nika remember and can switch from Chucky to Nika. That seems to be her sign that makes her switch from one person to the other. The aunt reveals that she has cancer. Tiffany and Nika have a
Completely
heart-to-heart.
random.
That's where Tiffany kind of says that she loves Nika as Nika, not necessarily as Chucky, but turns out it was just a ruse and she knocks her out. The kids start looking for Andy. The aunt is killed when Chucky pushes a cart that makes her go through the window and lands on the car in front of her son, face first, right into his face. The kids set up this weird doll alarm system based on Cape Fear. Chucky fights the kids, and then Devin's mom dies falling down the stairs.
Lame. I thought the cancer subplot was like completely out of left field and unneeded. I guess it's to make Junior want to kill his dad in a later episode. Spoiler alert, but other than that, I was like, what are we doing? Like, there's no need to have that. It just dragged down the plot. You know, we want more Chucky shit, not Junior's mom, who's a hottie, by the way. Let's give
Well,
credit where credit's due.
I had this discussion with Sam. I feel like this was like hinted at in episode 1, but we thought it was like she was having an affair.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but it was really her hiding a cancer diagnosis apparently. But yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was like necessary, and it didn't really add anything much to the plot. But I do think this episode was actually an improvement over the last episode. I enjoyed the introduction of Andy and Kyle. I thought that was great when they, did that whole sense thing and then ended up shooting one of the Chuckies. I really enjoyed that scene a lot. But oh my God, the fucking death scene of it had to have been the worst part, like one of the worst fucking things on this show. Like it looks so fucking terrible when she was like falling to the ground. Like it just looks so terrible. And I was like, she would not fall through that glass like that. That's high up. Like, you know what I mean? Like that would be like super strong tempered glass. I mean,
that's like hurricane-proof
maybe,
glass.
but yeah, right. So like, there's no way that glass is breaking there. And then for her to just land on the thing, it's like super eye rolly and cringy. So I did hate that part, but I did like the ending there where they tried to like, trap Chucky and get him. And then I was not expecting the mom to die. So that was kind of like a shock to me. So yeah, overall, I thought it was a decent episode.
I didn't love this episode. Like you said, the her getting pushed out the window was so ridiculous. Now she fell exactly perfectly onto the car facing Junior. It was just so fucking stupid. I agree that the cancer thing was completely unneeded, but this is a theme throughout the series to me where they added a bunch of stuff I thought were completely unneeded just to add it for some reason. The cop was a weird one, like Devin's mom. They have this whole thing going on where she's starting to think that Jake did it, and then the teacher, and then there's like this whole interesting kind of dichotomy of who's she going to go with. Is she going to help them? Or is she going to hurt them? And then she just dies. And I was like, what? That's so stupid. Like the way she died too was just so abrupt. I thought the cop would be more important and integral to the story. And the whole like doll alarm system thing they had seemed so impractical. Like they couldn't think of a better way to like get a warning that Chucky was in the house, that it seemed it was almost like a Home Alone plan, just a little too crazy for a bunch of kids to come up with on the fly based off such an obscure reference. But yeah, I didn't love this episode.
I'm with Steve on this one. I was just watching at this point to get it over with, but yeah, I don't know. They lost me in this one.
Sam, what did you think of this one?
I don't know when I came back.
She didn't like it. Move along. Episode 7.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. Episode 7. So this one, we start at the aunt's funeral, which Tiffany crashes and just like lays a smooch on Devin Sawa's character. Andy leaves Kyle at the gas station. The mayor announces a Frankenstein screening. Chucky recruits Junior as his new like killer friend. Devin goes to Charles Lee Ray's house and finds Nika tied up. Jake buys a doll off a courier and like just smashes it to pieces. Chucky confronts the dad, Devin Sawa's character. Junior kills his dad with the Chucky doll as kind of a beatdown in his face. Chucky sings, so fucking random. And then you find Devin is tied up with 100 dolls just staring at him. This was a weird episode to me.
I like the visual of the dolls. That was really cool.
Yeah,
awesome.
I liked this episode.
Is this the one where they're doing the question and answer with the Chucky and the Chucky dolls? Like, can we kill kids?
No,
that's
that's the finale.
That's the next one. Oh.
Why do you think Andy left Kyle at the gas station?
To protect her.
Yeah. But they were partnered.
Nice.
Like it didn't make sense. That's like Mulder leaving Scully in an episode to fight aliens, which is the whole point of their fucking unit.
They almost should have had a whole episode just dedicated to them.
I agree.
They wanted to bring them in.
Yeah.
We connect the dots a little bit, like, oh, they're hunting Chucky and all that stuff. But then I think it would have been a lot better to have how they got back together, where they're doing. Maybe check off a list.
No, I totally agree, Todd, because like Andy is so pivotal to the entire franchise. Like he probably should have been in this a little more. And I actually thought like there's some like shoddy acting in this, but I actually thought Andy was pretty good.
Me too. And I didn't like his acting from my I think he was in Colt. I thought he was like a little rough, but he definitely has grown as an actor. So he's better than Kyle for sure.
I was gonna say I thought the opposite of Kyle. Like she is not a great actress anymore. She was in part 2, but
absolutely
not so much anymore.
Yeah, I didn't love this episode. Man, like, and it just gets down to like just silly shit. Like some of the dialogue in this series is pretty fucking cringe, and some of the jokes I think do not land like whatsoever. But it's like, man, like when the fucking mayor is doing that whole shtick, and then she's like, oh, like to the victims, and then she's like, oh, but we're having a Frankenstein like bash or something like that. I'm like, really? Like,
Mayor's the worst, dude.
Like I know like what they're going for, but I'm just like, come on, like you could like do something better than that. I was not digging that. I loved though all the Chuckies, like Todd said. I thought that was great. And then what else did we get in this? What it was like a good death. Oh, what is it? Junior killing his dad, I thought was a really good scene as well. So, there was like some good here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He's so cute.
I just feel Sam when Devin died twice in this series.
It wasn't. I mean, it was fine.
I need you to tell me that you like track, son. I love track, Dad.
So weird.
And Joe, I think that's where your laptop went. Some kid just like ran up to the courier and like,
right.
I'll buy it for you for $400. Walk off.
Right.
Sure.
Was that like did that plot point mean anything, or was it just literally the perfect timing? Okay. I was like, did I miss something in the plot? Like Tiffany called a doll or something? All right. Random.
Yeah. Super random. All right. Episode 8, the finale. A lot going on in this episode. Andy shows up at Junior's place looking for Jake. He lets Andy just come into the house, put his hand in the bath, swirl it around, and then he just leaves.
That's normal.
Yeah, of course. That's what kids do, right? Let strange men come into their house and play in the bath. Anyway, super.
I'm more scared of the kid at that point than Andy, because that fucking kid's side eyeing me long eye.
Right.
Look at that kid.
Then you have Kyle knocks out Jake and Lexi to kind of protect them. Chucky starts talking to the group of Chuckies, discussing the rules of engagement, which are basically don't kill babies, and babies being 5 and 6 and down.
What if they're twins though? It's 2-on-1.
Right. Then this is where Tiffany kills the main Chucky doll, the one we've been kind of following since he took over the Tommy body. Kyle makes the house blow up by triggering a trap, and she is presumed dead, but you never see a body, so I don't think she's actually dead. Jake thinks Devin is dead for like 5 seconds. Like literally the song of him being sad about it isn't over, and he already like reunites with Devin. Another odd whole thing. The Frankenstein Gala starts happening, where good guy dolls are going to be shipped everywhere as some kind of initiative. Chucky kills a bunch of people at the theater. Unfortunately, not the mayor, even though you see her get like smacked and trampled, but she's apparently fine. Junior dies defending Lexi from Chucky. Then Jake kills a Chucky by choking him until his eyes pop out. Andy steals the Chucky truck with an awkward thumbs up, which I want to say something about that later. Tiffany, the doll, shows up in the truck that Andy is driving. Nika loses all her limbs, and Chucky talks to the camera, showing his death toll of 21 victims.
So this episode was wild.
It's all over the place, huh?
I liked it.
I liked it too. Wild means a good thing too, Joe.
Yeah, no, I know. I actually like this episode. I think it was probably the best episode of the entire series, dare I say. I don't think Kyle is dead, and I did notice though in the Chucky death toll they counted her death.
But I think they're just doing that as he thinks she's dead.
He thinks,
right. Yeah. So I can't imagine they would kill Kyle like that without a better send off. So, but yeah, I mean, the Frankenstein Gala is awesome. I fucking love that whole scene. I think it's great. Like when Chucky just goes fucking crazy, stabbing everyone in the asshole. And it's great. I actually like Lexi's arc in this series. I thought it was good, and I did enjoy it. I think she's a good character, and I'm excited to see her and Jake back. And Yeah, Junior dying was fine. Like I don't know, like I didn't feel like any sort of connection to him, so like I didn't feel terrible when he died or anything like that, but it was like whatever. Bringing Tiffany back, I'm assuming she did the same voodoo Chucky did, so maybe we'll start getting, but where did that Tiffany doll come from? That's my question. Like, did she like maybe sew one and create a new Tiffany doll? That is a question in and of itself. But yeah, I think it's like it wraps the series up, season 1 up like nicely, and leaves enough questions for me to be like, oh, well, I'm interested to see where season 2 goes now. So yeah.
I did like that they answered, or they spoke as us viewers did when Chucky was choking out Junior, and he's like, you're wondering why a doll's so strong. He's like, it doesn't make any sense. I'm like, oh, we've been saying that for years. Making fun of Alex Vincent's height a couple times, that was funny. Question answers was awesome. I thought that was really cool. I thought the bomb sequence is super lame. Kyle's literally right by the bomb, and she's not dead. That's stupid. Butthole stabbings, that was hilarious, plus pretty funny and pretty painful. Oh, and the mayor's husband is a little bitch. Screw that guy. Put some pants on, buddy. Especially when he's like, where's your husband? Oh, it's laundry day. He's at home. Like, dang. I think, Jake says, yeah, I've been doing push-ups lately. Where the fuck did that line come from? And then Nika's ending. Gosh, could they go any darker for her? Like,
that was brutal.
Why?
Why?
She could have flicked the bean on
Yeah,
her.
I did feel bad for that, and she's a pretty beloved character in the franchise. So like, I'm surprised they went that dark of a route with her.
Don't worry, she'll possess Fiona Dourif next season. So
yeah, actually, you're probably right. They probably will do something like that. Yeah.
What apartment do they live in where they can murder multiple people, cut off limbs? No one ever comes to investigate. Nothing. It's like, wow.
You just gotta go with the ride.
Just gotta go with it, I guess.
Yeah.
I thought I disagree with you though about Lexi. I thought that she should have died because she was she felt bad. Tough shit. She gave that Jake hell for years. Mm-hmm. And I think it would have been more appropriate if her and Junior died at the same time because they deserved each other. They're both pieces of shit. And I think they should have gone out like Chucky killed her, he killed Chucky, something like that, but they should have gone out together.
So I really like this episode too. Junior, I didn't really care that he died. I did not like him. And then with Lexi, I go back and forth because I do like her now, but I don't know. I think I kind of like how Todd was saying that maybe her and Junior die together. Like that would have been cool to see because I wouldn't have missed her. I'm just like, oh, I guess I have to like her because she has an arc, which is fine. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta think though, like she's also like a middle schooler. Like think about how some of the awful shit like kids do, but like, like they learn. Too. Yeah. So they like, she seemed to have learned from her mistakes and like is trying to become a better person.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think I actually liked her arc. I never thought she'd be redeemed by the end of the series after what she did. Kids are stupid. I was a stupid kid too. And, it's just, you do stupid things and you think you're doing things to be popular and it turns out to be really bad things. And, she learned and she became, Jake kind of showed her that the error of her ways. So I was okay with it. I don't like what they did with Nika either. I thought that was stupid. The fucking Andy stealing the truck thing. Like the kids see him and he kind of nods in the mirror. I thought, okay, that's cool. No, he gets out of the truck, gives him a super awkward fucking thumbs up, like a weird 80s like show. Like, okay, we get it. Like you didn't need to do that. They saw you in the fucking mirror. I thought that was a super, I don't know. It made me laugh so hard.
Yeah.
Stupid moment, I guess.
The middle finger to Tiffany was good though.
Yeah,
when he gets Tiffany the middle finger. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. Overall, I liked this episode actually. I thought it did close off a lot of the loops, but keep things open for the next season. And then we see a hand at the cemetery of someone following the three kids as they're visiting Junior's grave. I think that's Kyle. I don't know what you guys think. I think that's what they're getting with. Yeah,
so she could be severely burned, and that's why she's wearing gloves.
Yeah, or have a little burn because it's this show.
Maybe it's Mike's. Todd. Mike Norris is back on the case.
Maybe. Or was Catherine Hicks killed off in the series?
No, she was didn't she go to like a mental institution? I believe. I think she was committed.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, she might come back possibly, I guess. I'm pretty sure in part 2 they say she was committed and that's why Andy went and stayed with the foster parents.
All right. So what are your final, I know Joe, you got to go. So what are your final thoughts and rating for the series?
So my thoughts are this is, you know, a decent series. Like I had some issues with it. But overall, you know, I think if you're a fan of the Child's Play franchise, especially it's not of the quality of, you know, the first few Chucky movies. It's more on the line of the quality of the last few Chucky movies, which isn't the best, but isn't the worst either. I do think it's better than Curse and Cult. I will say that. I enjoyed it more than those. So yeah, I mean, I will continue on like watching the series. I think there's there's like enough fun to be had. It's just like turn off your brain and kind of enjoy it for Chucky at least. And I really appreciated all the practical effects they did, like with Chucky. I thought that was great. So overall, I'll give it a 7.
Puppetry I thought was amazing. Chucky always looked really great. I thought Devin Salvo was actually really well acted. He's probably the strongest actor in the series. Jennifer Tilly looks amazing. You know, boyhood crush, she still looks great. Fiona Dorff is awesome. Brad Dorff obviously is freaking great. Didn't like the teens, like I said earlier. I thought they were very unrealistic. The plot kind of like went off in weird directions that weren't needed. Like just stick with the goofiness. Don't try to throw in, you know, cancer subplot or alcoholism, things like that. Just leave it out. Jake had the same fucking look on his face 85% of the series. I know that's probably what he was told to do, but it kind of got annoying. Like he's grimacing the entire time. 6.75 out of 10.
I absolutely loved this series so much. It was better than what I was anticipating. The kids were my favorite. The adults, not so much, but I know that they're part of it. I have to accept it for what it is. But I'm excited to see where it goes. Chucky, I absolutely fell in love with. He's so hilarious, so dark, so creepy. All of the practical effects were amazing. I really liked it, and I'm going to give it 7.5. No, I'm joking. I'm going to give it an 8. I'm going to do an 8.
You go, Sam. Yeah, I actually like the series overall. You know, there were some better episodes than others. I just think the show had too many elements going on at once, and I wish they had gotten a little bit more focused. It seemed like they wanted to do a lot of fan service, which is fine because in some cases, Ghostbusters fan service is great. Some cases, Halloween Kills fan service is not so great. And this one, it's like they have so many movies that have so many storylines. It's like they're trying to mention or like resolve some of those movie storylines or fill the gaps. And I thought maybe it was a little too much for this show. I personally enjoyed the kids as well, like Sam did. I thought that was the stronger story, and I was kind of bummed out when they'd go back to kind of Tiffany's story with Nika, and some of the flashbacks were getting kind of long-winded and weren't needed. It was cool when he was a kid, but when it was, I guess, Fiona's Charles Lee Ray, it's kind of pointless. Like, I know he's a serial killer. It didn't add anything to the story, in my opinion. We know he's a killer. Why keep showing that he's a killer? We get it. We've seen how many of these movies at this point. So I think there was just a lack of focus throughout the series. But overall, I still loved it because I love Chucky. He's a great character, and fucking Brad Dourif, man. God, he's so good as Chucky. Like, Chucky was always a delight when he's on screen, and some of the lines were cheesy for sure, but I enjoyed him. So I'm with Sam. I actually gave it an 8 out of 10.
Woo woo!
All right,
awesome.
Cool.
So what happens in season 2? I guess it's going to be Tiffany, and they're going to follow that storyline, I guess. And then, well, where do the kids go from here?
I think Kyle brings them in to go after Andy and destroy the rest of I think that's why I think Kyle's that hand. I think she survived. She knows that Andy's in trouble, and she's going to recruit the only people who have dealt with Chucky before as her little ghost busting team, or I guess doll busting team.
Okay.
Has it been greenlit yet for
Yeah, season 2's already been greenlit. Yep.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they tighten up the script and kind of, bring the story closer together. Like you guys mentioned, I think that's.
Yeah, I think they just had to throw a lot of things to get all the different kinds of fans to get them interested into it, and then I think they'll kind of.
Mm-hmm. Can we also say how cool the title screen is every time? How it's always something
amazing.
new.
Oh my God.
So
it's
cool.
My
the song's good
part.
too.
I love the song.
I kept looking forward to seeing what the element for that episode would be.
Right.
It was cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this worked good as a TV series. I wasn't sure how Chucky would translate to TV, but I was pleasantly surprised. Yeah.
It gives me hope that other like horror movies could be successful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know it's only season one, but I would call season one a success for them.
I would too.
I would too.
Canceled.
Yeah, I would too, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fans seem to be mostly positive from what I've seen. People seem to be enjoying it. So
you're at a 7, Joe?
I'm at a 7 on it.
So
yeah,
I'm not too far below you. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think tighten it up a little more and it could be even better. Honestly, I think they can improve. So yeah,
absolutely. All right. So next week it is our Christmas episode. So what we're going to do is we're each going to pick a film and we're going to put it up for a vote over the course of the week. And you guys will choose what we will end up reviewing. And that is the movie we'll review next week. So that's how that's going to work. You guys know what you're picking?
No idea. I was going to ask you guys, and then I was just going to use your second pick for my pick.
Silent Night, Deadly Night, Part 2.
All right. I think I'm going to pick Santa's Sleigh.
Goldberg.
Yeah, Goldberg.
Is that on Tubi?
Sure it was last year. I don't know if it's there this year.
I feel like I don't know if I watched that or if it was just the trailer that Joe showed me. I don't know.
There's a surprising amount of star power in that movie that would surprise you.
It's like an action movie.
Yeah, it's definitely an action movie. It's like a gory action movie.
Nice.
I'm gonna have to look and see what I'm gonna pick.
Just watch P2 again.
I know, right? So good.
Nah, it's not on Tubi. Darn.
Is it available on streaming anywhere?
I don't know.
Well, we'll see. I don't even think it'll win, so it doesn't matter.
It won't, because we've already done it.
We haven't.
All right. Well, where are we going to post that out? On Discord or just regular social media?
This one's going to go on all social medias.
Oh, all right. So be sure you guys vote so we know what to review for our Christmas horror movie. And be sure to follow us on Instagram. Check us out on Twitter. Check out our Discord. It's always a good time over there. And we will see you guys next week.
And just a little tease for next week, that we've been teasing an interview for like 3 months. And we kept pushing it back because of scheduling conflicts. But we finally not only landed the interview, but actually recorded it at the time of this recording. So next week, you will finally get to hear that infamous interview that we've been waiting for a long time. And this is one of the biggest that we've done, I would say. And it went really, really well. Very, very cool person that we talked to. So, and great stories and stuff that I didn't know about the franchise that person is known for. So if you're on the Discord, you already know who it is because we posted a picture. But if you're not, that's another reason to join our little group. Bye.
Bye.